World continues our 50th anniversary salute to NASCAR, home of the fastest growing and most popular motorsports series in the world.
Although he has never won on a road course, Kelly Moore is always a force to be reckoned with in a Busch North race. His 17th in every race since the division's inception. Now, Mike Stefanik, on the other hand, worked his way into the NASCAR record books last season. He won both the Busch North title and the championship in the Featherlight Modified Series. Kelly Moore qualified 9th for today's race, but he's coming off his worst finish of the year, 41st at Loudon, New Hampshire, which dropped him all the way down to 5th in the points. And he's chasing this guy, Tom Carey, in the 42 car. Yeah, he's a relative newcomer to this series, but he's got 2 wins in 1998. Now, everybody might be chasing this guy, Mike Stefanik. Last year's series champion is driving with a hurt back today.
1 year ago, former modified champion Ted Christopher led the last 27 laps using fuel mileage in a fast car to win at the Glen. One of 3 wins in just 10 starts, and that victory literally had Ted flying high. In 7 starts this season, he has just 1 top 10 finish. But today, he starts 2nd. That's 1 spot better than he started here 1 year ago. This could be a big weekend of repeat winners at the Glen. Maybe Jeff Gordon tomorrow. Maybe Ted Christopher today. But to do that, he'll have to beat the pole sitter, a 32-year-old former series champ who won 10 races in 1991 and has a full-time job working Sundays, driving for Budweiser. Ricky Craven's season of struggle has been well chronicled, but in June here at the Glen, he made his return to racing. Perhaps this series is the perfect place to make his return to victory lane. 13 career wins in the Busch North Series for Ricky Craven. That's tied for 3rd all time. But perhaps none of those wins could compare to what a win today would mean to Craven, to his crew, to his career, and to his family.
Start your engine. History, 39 Busch Grand National North cars are born to life, ready to compete on a very, very demanding road course. ESPN Speed World welcomes you live to the beautiful Finger Lakes region of Central New York, side of historic Watkins Glen International Raceway. And seen today's NASCAR Busch Grand National North Series Pepsi 150. After 9 of 17 events on the $1.75 million tour, sophomore driver Tom Carey holds a slim 22-point margin over Mike Stefanik. In fact, just 103 points separate the top 5. You think that's close? Take a look. Just 56 points separate 7th. That is Bobby Dragon from 10th overall, Brian Wall. Hello, everyone. I'm Jerry Punch, along with former Winston Cup champion Benny Parsons and the 1992 winner of the Budweiser at the Glen, Kyle Petty. We're certainly glad to have you with us on a very tough and very demanding road course. And Benny, road racing means that a lot of guys will stay on the lead lap. And thus, if you have a mistake near the top 10 in points in this series, you could really have a jumble.
Oh, you know that these guys, the top 10 in points that you just saw a moment ago, folks, they certainly do not want to run on these road courses because they're not road races. They're oval track races where you put the thing in high gear and all you got to worry about is hitting another car or the brakes. You really have to worry about transmission gears and the other cars and the racetrack. And you're right, a problem here, Jerry, will certainly mix up the point standing.
Talking about mixing up, you got to figure out when to pit and how to pit. And Kyle Petty, that's strategy. And whether it's Winston Cup or Busch North, it seems like always the first in here wins.
To be successful in business, the old adage is location, location, location. To be successful out here, it's going to be track position, track position, track position. One miscue in these pits can change the outcome of the race and the points chase.
Indeed, it could. We're going to be watching some exciting racing for 62 laps, 150 miles. And don't forget, RPM tonight coming your way at 7 o'clock Eastern Time on the Deuce. And, of course, lots of action to come your way. Happy hour at 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. Tomorrow, Sunday's action, RPM at 11:30 a.m. on the Deuce. NASCAR today at 12:30, previewing our live flag-to-flag coverage coming up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Time on ESPN of the 13th annual running of the Budweiser at the Glen. We'll be back with a taking a look at the starting lineup and a waving of the green flag for the Pepsi 150 NASCAR Busch Grand National North Series event.
While these two trucks appear to be exactly the same, there is, however, one measurable difference. The brand of brake pads. Performance friction carbon metallic. The power to stop the best. Ask for them at AutoZone.
Let me give you a little driving lesson, okay? Vehicles have changed. They're bigger, they're faster, they're a lot more than just a fashion accessory, okay? And guess what? The way you drive has changed, too. So why are you still using your old motor oil? Doesn't make sense. These are Quaker State synthetics. 4x4, high performance, ultra premium. Made for what you drive, where you drive, the way you drive. They've been tested. For pure maximum protection, there's nothing better. I think it's time for an oil change. Quaker State, sensible technology. What more do you need to know?
Coming in, guys.
Look, Bill's in trouble.
Don't worry, Bill. We'll take it from here.
Here.
Where can you always find a fast and friendly drive-thru crew? Did somebody say McDonald's?
Were you born without a soul?
Excuse me?
You don't know how to love, do you?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about this.
It's just an oil filter.
Just an oil filter? Look, nothing stops more dirt than America's #1 brand of oil filter, Fram. Now get out of here. How do you live with yourself?
Fram oil filters. Pay a little more now or pay a lot later.
Speed Road coverage of the NASCAR Busch Grand National North Series action from Pepsi 150 from Watkins Glen International is being brought to you by the more than 2,500 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. By Quaker State, sensible technology. What more do you need to know? And by Daytona USA, the ultimate motorsports attraction. Take a look at our track description. We told you it's a 2.45-mile road course, front stretch, back straightaway, 2,600 feet. There are 7 turns ranging in degrees of banking from 6 to 10 degrees. And, of course, there's an inner loop right up there where it says 2.45 miles. And Kyle Petty, that can be a real booger.
Yeah, the inner loop is a critical place to get through because that sets you up for the final turn down there. It turns you back towards coming back towards the start-finish line. I don't even know what all the numbers of these turns are, and I've run here for 7 or 8 years. I get lost, but there's a lot of elevation changes and a lot of different short shoots on this place.
And you see a lot of elevation changes here, so you're going up and down, left and right, very demanding. So take a look at our starting lineup. On the pole, Ricky Craven, 32 years of age, the 1991 Busch North champion, and last year's series winner here at Watkins Glen, Ted Christopher. Back in row 2, Brian Wall. Watch for him to be awfully strong early on. And Brad Bennett out of Stamford, Connecticut. Inside row 3, Kim Baker came from 30th to finish 2nd a year ago. He's a road racing ace. And there's a defending series champion, Mike Stefani. Back in row 4, the car number 42, he's the point leader, Tom Carey, only a 2nd year in Busch North competition. And former AMA motorcycle ace, Dale Quarterly. In row 5, the 2-time series champion, that is Kelly Moore, flanked by the 1996 Rookie of the Year in this series, Brad Layton.
Back in row 6, Lou Rettenmeyer, and also Mike Olson. In row 7, Jerry Marquis and Rick Bell. In row 8, John Preston and Jeff Barry. Back in row 9, we find Dennis Deniers and Russ Brown. Dale Shaw on the inside of row 10 alongside Billy Penfold.
All right, back in row 11, Eric Bodine. Yeah, he's a cousin to Jeff, Fred, and Todd Bodine. And how about Brian Semo out of the Trans Am rankings? There's Tracy Gordon, last year's Rookie of the Year in this series. And a rookie in the car number 71, Joe Pessa. Back in row 13, Butch Cohn out of Davidson, North Carolina, and Walter Riley, another rookie on the tour. Back in row 15, Brett Rubinick, He's a road racing ace, but a rookie in Busch North competition. Beside him, Rob Rizzo. Martin Truex finished third here last year, started way back in the pack. And another road racing ace, John Wall Sr. beside him. Row 16, the 08 of A.J. Parker, flanked by Dennis Doyle. Back in row 17, A.J. Frank and Tommy Bowles. And row 18, well, they get the AARP Discount Award, 54-year-old Dave Dion, flanked by 64-year-old Stub Fadden, a couple of veterans in this series. Then comes three-time series champion Jamie Obey and rookie Ben Rao in row 19. And inside row 20, the car number 88, starting 39, is Jeff Taylor. Let's check in then on the Mike Stefanik pits with Ray Dunlap.
Well, Doc, I told you at the top of the show that Mike Stefanik was hurting a little bit. He's got possibly a slipped disc in his lower back. This guy is really in pain, and he just called in on the radio. He said, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to work the clutch and do the brakes like I need to. So they have Andy Santerre standing by. Of course, Andy won here in 1996. They got a pretty good driver if Mike does need some relief. Now to Bill Weber.
And Kyle Petty talked about location, location, location. Well, how you'll get that during pit stops will depend on how many tires you take and when you take them. Remember, you want to pit under green. Some guys are thinking about taking 2 tires, but some of the fast guys up front admit they will try and take 4 tires under green. They won't lose a lap. They'll try and do that as soon as the pit window opens. That could be as early as lap 22 or thereabouts.
Martin Truex will be carrying one of our onboard cameras, the AutoZone onboard. He will be starting back in 29th spot. And on the outside of the front row, the Wheeling onboard camera, Ted Christopher, the winner here last year in this race.
Teddy Christopher whipped up to Stafford Springs last night and ran a couple of modified events. He also runs intermittently on the NASCAR Featherlight Modified Tour. And as you heard them say, Mike Stefanik will be hustling off tonight to Riverhead, New York, on Long Island to run a NASCAR modified event. He currently holds a fairly comfortable lead in that modified series, although he is second in the points here. Great shot from overhead, the field of 39, making the final right-hand turn as they head down to the starter's stand with a wave of the green flag by Donnie Horvath.
The 32 car got a terrible, terrible start. Oh, and they're about 3 abreast, but they've got to pile down to at least 2 wide in this corner.
That's Craven, then Christopher. And they were side by side a moment, back for third spot. Now a challenge for second. What a great shot coming out of the S's down that back straightaway, 2,600 feet now in the inner loop.
And Brian Wall, the 77, has gone in the second spot by Ted Christopher. Meanwhile, Brad Bennett and 4 cars back and forth. Like we see a car that's gone straight in inner loop. But as long as he doesn't advance his position, he's okay. And certainly he's lost about 20, so if I were him, I'd put in gear and drive on.
That's the car number 3 of Walter Riley, the rookie.
Got a heavy, heavy smoker back in the pack. And there's some sheet metal damage to that car.
That may be Barry. That's the 22 car of Barry that had an engine problem late yesterday and actually borrowed an engine last night from Lou Redmeyer. And Kyle definitely got some trouble.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to tell whether it's sheet metal damage or whether it's coming out the left front tire there, but it looks like, you know, it's really hard to tell where it's coming from. From head on, it looks like it's almost nose damage where it's pushed back in on the tire, but it never seems to get away from the tire.
Well, they're a single file.
And Jeff Berry is spinning in his oil down in turn 1. There he goes around, all the cars behind him. Yeah, Jeff Berry made a mistake in not going in the pits. Looks like a brake problem, Kyle.
Yeah, the way it's just smoking out that one wheel. It's not really coming out from under the car as bad as it's just smoking in that one wheel.
There's see Brad Bennett, the 4 car, trying to make a move on Christopher in 13. Couldn't quite make it. This is Christopher looking back at Bennett. Trying to get on the throttle here and playing with that accelerator.
Let's look and see what happened to Barry entering turn 1 just a moment ago.
We saw him smoking as he came off turn 7. Here he goes down in the corner, and he just, I think it's a brake problem of some kind.
Yeah, when you really look at the car, the way the car just is real darty getting in the corner, it's like all the other brakes are working and one brake's not, and it's upsetting the car.
Well, he's had a pretty miserable weekend anyway. They lost their only engine yesterday and borrowed one from Rettenmeier last night. Here's a challenge up front.
Brian Wall has the lead. He's gone by Ricky Craven. That's Craven in the New Holland car back in second. Brad Bennett goes by Christopher in turn 1 to take over third, and here comes Stefanik in that 51 car.
All right, here's what happened up in turn 6 a moment ago.
The left-hander is turn 6. We see that Brian Wall gets on the inside of Ricky Craven. There's nothing Craven can do except let him go.
Nothing Craven could do. You could see as Craven come off the corner, he got a little wide. Probably had to check up on the ripple strips.
Let's check in the 22 pits of Barry with Ray Dunlap. Ray?
Well, Doc, I just checked with the crew chief, and he said they had changed the engine first thing this morning. They think maybe they have an oil line loose. Jeff is on his way down pit road right now. They're going to come in and take a look at the 22 car, see if they can figure it out.
That's probably what's happened, Kyle, is there's an oil hose that's loose and just blowing oil on that left front tire.
Yeah, but it's amazing the way it's just coming out that left front wheel.
All right, once again, taking a look, trying to take a look on the inside of Ricky Craven. That's Craven in 82, Brad Bennett in 4. Look on the outside.
Craven will have a preferred line on the inside. That's turn 7.
You know, this racetrack is an incredibly difficult place to pass with these heavy cars. And you really have to set somebody up. And you could see the way he set him up. He went to the outside. Craven protected the inside. He swept back across him. And then here he takes position in turn 1 and takes the spot away from him.
Oh, and Craven about loses it. And we see Stefanik has already been able to get by Christopher. Now Stefanik gets by Craven.
So Craven's hung in a bad place here. There's a lot of trash on the racetrack. Christopher let him back in line, which is really a decent thing to do right there.
Riding along with Ted Christopher, the Wheelan in-car camera and his Chevrolet Monte Carlo, defending winner of the Pepsi 150. Brian Wall, our leader, Craven, Bennett, Christopher, and Stefanik in the top 5. Let's check in once again with Ray.
Well, Doc, they've just put the hood back down on Jeff Berry's number 22 as he pulls away. It was not an oil line off the engine. It was actually a brake line on the left front that came loose. They tightened it up, and they've got him fixed. Now to Bill Weber.
Ricky Craven has told his crew initially he thought he had a tire going down. Now he's not so sure. That might not be the problem. It may just be they started with their tire pressure too low. So he has a handling difficulty based on air pressure in his tires.
Well, see, these are bias flat tires, not the radial tires. So maybe his experience with the Winston Cup car has caused him to start with air pressure low, and these bias flat tires don't like that. Could be a problem.
All right, Craven hanging on the 3rd spot right now. 3 laps are complete of 62 in the Pepsi 150. NASCAR Busch Grand National North Series action from historic Watkins Glen International Raceway. Brian Wall is our leader. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
This month on Adelphia Home Theater, it's 4 spies versus 1 small boy. Home Alone 3. Britain's hottest gals play it up in Spice World. He can't escape the soul of a killer in Fallen. Hoffman and De Niro do some spinning in Wag the Dog. Matt Damon learns a lesson in Good Will Hunting. And Kevin Costner delivers the goods in The Postman. Order these hits from the comfort of your own home. Check your local listing. Adelphia Home Theater, your link to great movies.
Summertime. Time to get away from it all without totally getting away from it all. This summer, pick up a brand new Motorola pager in service during Page Time's Summer Splash Spectacular and get one very hot deal. Free activation, a free 30-minute prepaid phone card, 2 months of free voicemail, and if you pay for a year in advance, you'll save up to $24. So call 1-800-870-2220 and make summertime Page Time.
ESPN Sunday Night Football. Full season coverage begins September 6th.
Back at Watkins Glen International Raceway in Watkins Glen, New York, here in the early laps. In fact, 5 laps have been completed of the Pepsi 150, and 26-year-old Brian Wall is the leader in the car number 77.
There's their pole sitter, Ricky Craven. He's falling back to about 5 seconds behind the leader. That is Brian Wall in 77, the leader. Brad Bennett, the 4 car, in second. There comes Stefanik, 51, the red, white, blue car. He's in third. And we see a pretty good battle. And we see the Christians keep falling back. Tom Carrion, 42, the points leader, has been able to get by. Here comes Brad Layton in 55. So Christopher is obviously nursing an ill-handling race car.
You know, he did not get to run at all in happy hour yesterday because I told you he had to scoot off and run the NASCAR modified doubleheader at Safford Springs, so maybe that might have hurt him.
That's not a bad thing because Brian Wall did not run in the happy hour yesterday afternoon either, and he's leading the race.
Oh, okay. never mind. All right, possible challenge up front. No possible about it. It is a challenge down in turn 1.
Brad Bennett, the 4 car, gets on the inside and takes over the lead, and here comes Wall trying to fight back on the inside, and he does it. Oh, Bennett comes out ahead. And we see Monroe Muffer on Brad Bennett's car. That's Andy Santerre's car down in the southeast. They asked Brad about running on the car here.
And they are looking for a sponsor. Bob Bennett, who is Brad's dad, who is the crew chief and owner of that car, reports that we are desperately needing a sponsor. We thought we had one. They went away at the last minute. And this young man, as you're watching here, he hangs on to that race car, 24 years of age. He's having fun.
Oh, he's having a great fun. Oh, you would see the 3 car coming in the pits. Walter Roddy coming around. Changing the left front tire.
And he will get lapped on pit road as we have 6 laps complete.
Just like Stefanik, that little move that they made on the pass down in turn 1 has enabled Stefanik in 51 to close in right about a second behind the leaders.
And here's Eric Bodine, the Bully Hill Vineyards car. Local youngster from Chemung. Cousin of, whoa, Dion slides it, locks it down, and hits him broadside, and he gets some front end damage from another car going by. So that will bring out a full-course yellow here on lap number 7.
That's coming off turn 5. You have the inner loop and then the right-hander, turn 5. That's coming off turn 5, starting down the backstretch that Kyle Petty talked about a moment ago. And there's a lot of damage to that car, Kyle.
There's a ton of damage to that car. He must have just got into the corner, didn't know that the thing was there, didn't know another car was in the racetrack, and at the last minute locked it up. And I'm telling you, that car's wiped out right there.
Dave Dion told me yesterday this is the absolute worst year he has ever had in racing. In 34 years of competition, he hasn't had a single top 5 after winning numerous events over the last few years, and this sort of sums it up, the kind of year he's had.
And his car's falling apart as he comes down the back. Pieces flying everywhere.
That's what I was getting ready to say. As much as it's smoking, he's just leaving a trail of parts and pieces all the way down the backstretch there.
Well, we saw the 3 car in the pits a little bit ago. Bill, what was the problem?
Well, he had a vibration. They changed the left front, and you can see why here. These rounded holes, obviously, they're not round anymore. So the lug nuts were not tight. This is the left front wheel that was not tight on the car that caused the vibration. That squares off these rounded holes. That makes your day very painful, especially on a road course.
All right, a tough break for the car number 3, Walter Riley. Now, this full course caution being brought out by the car number 21 initially spinning. That was Eric Bodine. There is, we're going to show you Eric here and show you what happened.
There we see him sideways off the corner. And he comes to a stop, and several cars go by, but evidently Dion did not have a spotter down in that portion of the racetrack. And most of these cars do, but Dion comes through there, and I would guess Kyle did not have a spotter and just spins right into this car.
Yeah, and you can see he'll come in here in a minute and get into the side end, but it's an incredibly fast corner. You come out of the chicane or the inner loop there, and you come out right here, you're back on the gas wide open. He sees him and tries to slow down at the same time, gets on the brakes, and then just jumps out from under him. You can almost see in the racetrack there's a little dip there. You go through a little dip, and that'll upset the car a lot of times, too. These guys are on the brakes right behind them.
Boy, Brett Rubinick did a nice job to be able to miss those 2 cars sitting there. Meanwhile, he is on pit road talking about Dion, and Ray is there.
Doc, this looks like a pit stop that they would make at Sears Point, not one at Watkins Glen, because the car's facing the wrong way. The reason was Dave Dion came in, he tried to hit the brake, but the left rear tire was completely flat, so the car spun around and he backed into his pits. Now they're working on the left side, but there is a good bit of damage back by the fuel cell. I think they've got more work cut out for them than they were really aware of.
And that was the car spinning on pit road. He just pulled up straight. Or I guess he backed into spin. Well, here's another angle. Watch as this left rear blows. About just as he starts to stop, the left rear blows, which car just spins around. Everybody starts dodging, and he back to his pit.
And that's another reason that NASCAR doesn't allow anyone across the wall until the car has almost come to a complete halt. That could have been ugly had those crew members been standing there when Dion's car popped that tire. Under the first full-course caution of the afternoon. Back with more. 8 laps complete at Watkins Glen. Stay with us.
Let me give you a little driving lesson, okay? Vehicles have changed. They're bigger, they're faster, they're a lot more than just a fashion accessory, okay? And guess what? The way you drive has changed, too. So why are you still using your old motor oil? Doesn't make sense. These are Quaker State synthetics. 4x4, high performance, ultra premium. Made for what you drive, where you drive, the way you drive. They've been tested. For pure maximum protection, there's nothing better. I think it's time for an oil change. Quaker State, sensible technology. What more do you need to know?
Husky, the toughest name in tools. Guaranteed forever. Available at the Home Depot.
At Plank Road, we don't do everything well. Fortunately, beer is something we do well. Ice House, thanks and enjoy.
The NASCAR Ride-Along program puts you in the action.
And this is Carmen, my niece. She's Mary Lee's daughter. You remember Mary Lee. This is my beautiful granddaughter, Christy. And this is... who is this? That's Stuart. Stuart? Yeah, he married Eleanor. You're right.
NASCAR on ESPN.
At Watkins Glen International Raceway. What a beautiful sight high above this massive Watkins Glen International Raceway. These shots courtesy of the fine folks at Pennzoil in our Pennzoil Copter Camp. Watkins Glen International celebrating its 50th year, 50th anniversary for exciting road racing across America. There's a fine look at the helicopter giving us those shots above this facility in the Finger Lakes region of New York. Let's check in with Bill.
And, Jerry, just to update Ricky Craven, they're now convinced it was an air pressure problem. They say the handling has come back to that race car, so Ricky should be pretty strong here. Right now, they just want to stay out of early race trouble. One other thing to keep in mind, when he does pit, he has several members from his Winston Cup Budweiser team that will help pit the car here in this race. Let's go to Ray Dunlap.
Well, Bill, I told you that Andy Santerre was standing by for Mike Stefanik. What's Mike said on the radio, Andy? Are you going to have to drive the car today?
Well, I don't think so, Mike. He's running real good. I think you're going to be seeing him take the lead here shortly, but he's running good, and he says he feels pretty good right now, so I'm here just in case. But, well, you know, for Mike, I hope he can make it all right, and I hope he's doing okay.
So Andy's sponsor's out there on Brad Bennett's car, which is running really well, but he may not. He may have the day off, just standing around waiting.
Well, Mike is black and blue from a modified crash in New Hampshire where he destroyed a car a week or so ago, but that's not how he hurt his back. This past Wednesday, he told me he was lifting a case of dog food out of the back of his wife's car and felt something pop in his back, and now he's got pain down both legs, numbness, and even had a hard time getting enough strength to push the clutch in, so he's obviously very, very uncomfortable, and not only has to run this race today, but has to go to Riverhead, New York tonight up in Long Island and run the NASCAR Modified Series where he currently is the point leader, and so, boy, it is miserable to have to drive when you've got low back pain.
I talked to Mike this morning, and trust me, folks, he is in a great deal of pain.
All right, first full course caution of the afternoon coming out on lap number 9 of 62 laps. Brad Bennett, our leader. Back with more from Watkins Glen in just a moment.
Need a faster truck?
Hey, this is yesterday's paper.
Now you have a chance to win a real Ron Hornaday NASCAR racing truck, a one-year lease on a '99 Chevy pickup, or a tool set during Napa Auto Parts Trucking and Tools Sweepstakes and Sale. Come by today.
Tomorrow's paper.
Come see the newest generation of computers with more memory, more speed, more power, more graphics, more of everything at Circuit City's Computer Expo 98. Get $10 to $100 rebates on select top brands. You'll save $100 on this IBM system with a 266 megahertz K6 processor, monitor, and Canon color printer, now only $999.99 after mail-in rebate. Or pick up this 900 megahertz cordless phone for only $39.99.
Plug into savings today at Circuit City.
Hey, it's science. Ever wonder what a hard-working engine goes through? It gets the high rev, and I drove over the mountain because it was there. Crap kicked out of it. With abuse like that, you don't want to take chances. This is Quaker State 4x4, a synthetic blend for hard-working engines made by guys with more college degrees than they've had dates. It's been tested. For pure maximum protection, there's nothing better. I wouldn't lie to you. They're not paying me enough. Quaker State, sensible technology. What more do you need to know?
Independent rear suspension, dual shocks, and a sway bar. Rick, it's all there. That's good, because when things get rough out there, suspension is everything.
Other manufacturers use a straight axle that bounces over obstacles, losing traction. Our independent rear suspension hugs the terrain for better traction and a smoother ride. The Sportsman 500 and the Sportsman 335 with shaft drive.
You gotta ride it to believe it.
Buy a new Polaris ATV now and get a Remington rifle or shotgun. See your Polaris dealer for details.
And we welcome you back to Watkins Glen International Raceway. Great look at this massive crowd on hand for the Bud at the Glen weekend here, which we'll be bringing you live, of course, on ESPN. Speaking of live action, join ESPN tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern Time and travel west to 3 Com Park in San Francisco for Sunday night baseball's game of the week. Watch the Atlanta Braves and the San Francisco Giants. Yeah, Chipper Jones and Barry Bonds going at it as the Braves lead the East, while the Giants are in a battle for the wild card. Sunday night baseball, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, only on ESPN. While we're still under caution here with a little oil on the racetrack, we'll take one more break and come back with more live racing action from Watkins Glen International Raceway in just a moment.
You need cash now? Thousands of families have turned to J.G. Wentworth for money when they needed it most of all. For business opportunities, debt consolidation, and new homes. If you're receiving periodic payments from a structured settlement or annuity and need cash, call now. Representatives are standing by 24 hours a day to answer all your questions. If you're receiving structured settlement payments over a long period of time but need cash, call now. 1-800-603-0608.
Want to go to lunch?
No, I got to do some shopping.
Shopping?
Now there's a better place to shop. Value America. It's on the internet. The best products at the best prices. Like Weber Grills, the best name in barbecue. Delivered free from Value America.
Steaks on a Weber.
Doesn't get better than this. Hey, guys.
Hey, where have you been?
I was in using your computer. Checking your email again? No, actually, I just bought a Weber. Value America. These are great.
ValueAmerica.com.
Man.
Hey, Dale. Hey, thanks. Sure, no problem. Hey, it may not be much, but I think the right end is lifting just a little bit in the turns.
I'll have it checked out.
Thanks. Okay. Say hi to Kelly.
Sure will.
Be good.
Back at Watkins Glen International Raceway, Kyle Petty, Benny Parsons, Bill Weber, Ray Dunlap, and yours truly, Jerry Punch, bringing you exciting NASCAR Busch Grand National North Series action. There's that Ford Taurus safety car with the lights ablaze. Young man leading the race, 24-year-old Brad Benton out of Stamford, Connecticut. Talking about one of the legends in this sport. Well, he's not racing right now. He's standing by in the pits.
Well, you're absolutely right, Doc, and you guys talked about how tough points racing can be when you come here to Watkins Glen. Dave, boy, I know you're disappointed. What happened out there on the track?
I was in the carousel, and I find myself on the edge there anyway. And the one thing you don't want to do when you're going down around that carousel is touch those brakes, and Eric Bodine was sitting there. There really wasn't any room to go by. I didn't think I touched the brakes, and I had the car on the edge, and it turned around back into him. And it's just, I guess maybe I should have had a spotter stationed right on that exact spot, because that's probably the only spot you're really helpless on.
6th in the points right now. Have you assessed the damage on this race car? Can it go back in?
I think we'll at least try and get out there. Attrition's usually high, and hopefully we can get a few points, maybe get in the top 30, never get in the top 20, but, these guys don't know how to quit, so they'll keep working. That's their job. They like a challenge. I didn't think they wanted this one, though.
Well, they got a tough one today, guys, right now. They continue to work on the 29 car, but the damage is significant.
Boy, and Dave Dion has a legion of fans who have followed his career over the years. He is 6th in the points. Who are the top 5? Well, We told you the young man only in his second year racing. Tom Carey is the leader. There's Mike Stefanik, the defending champion. Jerry Marquis, who finished second last year. Brad Layton, and of course Kelly Moore, the former two-time series champion. And folks, just 103 points separate those top 5. And as you heard Benny say, one miscue by anybody in the top 10 today could jumble the standings quite a bit.
Well, Kelly Moore, wasn't he the leader before the Loudon race? Had a bad finish there, finished 41st, and now he's back in 5th spot.
So a young man leading here right now, Brad Bennett, 24 years of age. And he was talking to me yesterday. You see the car number 3 rolling along on the outside. He had been on and off pit road having trouble. And Bennett was talking about the great transmission that they had in their car. So we got one of those new T101s from Tex Powell. And man, suddenly I became a pretty good road racer.
The transmission certainly make a huge difference when you're trying to get around this track and shift 4 or 5 times. As you come by and start that shifting process all over again as the green flag is out.
Restart here on lap number 12. That caution flag out for 4 laps.
Craven diving down on the inside of Stefanik. Takes the spot away.
That would be for 3rd position. Now Stefanik will get a challenge.
Tim Baker in the 10 car, the yellow car.
And if you just joined us, Mike Stefanik, severe pain in his lower back, numbness and pain down both legs, trying to hang on. They have Andy Santerre standing by in his pits, and right now he has lost a spot on the restart, showing in 4th spot, but now Baker in that yellow number 10 is going to give him all he can handle now in the inner loop.
Dale Shaw back there in the green Skull car just went by Mike Olson. Mike Olson in 61, the Little Trees car.
Dale Shaw, it's his first ride of the year in that car, number 7. That's the same team he won, Quint Bober. He won the 1994 Busch North Championship with. Bobby Dragon just decided to, I guess what we were told, he resigned early in the week, and they called Dale Shaw and asked him if he would get in the car. Dale, of course, the most recent winner on the series, winning last week at Loudon in his own Ford.
Here come the leaders again, and we see Brian Wall, the car in 2nd place, had some aspirations, wondered if he had time. All the cars go through the shot. Here's the battle. Down in the corner, oh, that's Brian Simo in 03 trying to get on the inside of John Preston in 89. And well, I'll tell you what, Billy Penfold almost made some contact with that car. With Penfold in the 0.
There's the 89 and 03 battling for position. That would be for 15th spot. John Preston. As the leaders come out of the inner loop, Kyle, and pretty much stabilized between these 2 young drivers.
And these guys, a minute ago, when we saw Stefanik catch up just a little bit right before the caution, these guys have gotten to racing each other pretty hard. The leader was looking in the mirror, the 2nd place guy was driving off in there, and they were stopping, so Stefanik caught up. Now it's just race the racetrack type of deal. These guys get out there, they run, and that's why, as we've talked the whole time, track position is so important. We saw a minute ago, there can be as much as 5 or 6 seconds between 1st and 2nd place, but what they do on pit road is crucial to these guys.
All right, our helicopter will follow them around, give you a perspective of where they are as they flash by. That's the Pennzoil Copter Cam. That was the start-finish line, and Benny, now they're going to make the hard right to go downhill and in through the Essex.
This is turn 1. A right-hander. Most of the turns at this racetrack are right-handers. Just 2 left-handers. As we see Craven close in on the back of Brian Wall. Down to turn 2. Now up the hill. This is the Essex part of the racetrack. There's 3. Now the right into turn 4. They'll go down the backstretch now. And they'll build up to a speed of probably 150, 60 miles per hour. And heavy on the brakes.
Yeah, this is the fastest part of the racetrack right here, as you go into this tightest corner of the racetrack just about.
How hard do you jump on the brakes right there?
Incredible. You're in 4th gear, and you downshift, you pop 3rd, and then pop it into 2nd, and you're on the brakes using the motor and everything to slow you down. Then you're back into 3rd. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
This is not on the racetrack. This is someplace you don't want to be no matter what.
That is Ben Rowe, the rookie driver, and he is in the gravel pit, and that will probably bring out another full course yellow flag.
Yes, it does. That's down in turn 1 area. Let's see if we can see what happened to Ben Rowe coming in the corner. Oh, I see what's going to happen. He's going to try to get on the inside. He said, uh-oh, I'm going too fast. I know I'm going too fast. and down in there. And once you get in there and stop, there's no way to get out without a wrecker pulling you out.
No, these sand traps are doing a great job. We you know, used to these guys would spin down through here and they would spin out, and there's another angle of them spinning out into the sand. Used to, you'd get out in there and you could go way out next to the wall, or if you didn't get in the wall and come back over here in the turns 3 or 4 or 2 or 3, get back on the racetrack. But these things, Watkins Glen has done a tremendous job.
Kyle, you talk
safety-wise.
Kyle, you talk about wheel hop. Take a look at his left rear tire. That's what you guys describe as wheel hop.
That's he's on the brake so hard, all the weight's pitched to the front, the rear gets light, the tire begins to hop, and you can really see it really well with these bias ply tires because they flex so much.
That's the best shot I've ever seen of a car on the road course developing wheel hop, where you step on the brakes and the whole car begins to bob up and down. But he will be there for a little while. They'll have to get the wreckers over to him and try to help the car number 74, Ben Rowe. He is a rookie from Turner, Maine, in the Merritt Motorsports Pontiac. Started provisionally. Second full course caution of the day in Watkins Glen International. Back with more racing action in just a moment.
From the beaches of Daytona to today's super speedways, Purolator remains the oil filter. Pure oil now, pure oil later, Purolator. After all, we invented the business.
Here's what the renovated rooms at Motel 6 look like when you're sleeping and when you're awake. Asleep, awake. Strobe light. Sorry, I'm Tom Bodette for Motel 6, and we'll leave the light on for you.
No multi-million-dollar contracts. No victory laps. Not even a winner's circle. But if you think these weekend warriors who run the SCORE Desert Championship Series take anything for granted, think again. Which is exactly why they run with the Duralast battery from AutoZone. A battery so tough, so dependable, we back it with a 2-year free replacement guarantee. The next time you hit the road, don't settle for anything less.
Boy, it's a hot one out there. It's going to be a scorcher. You're going to be a beat. Don't forget the sun handles.
Something wrong, Flex? I need to make a call, but I left my change on the blanket. I see, and your precious little tootsies can't bear the walk back, can they? No. Not to worry. Just dial 1-800-COLLECT. It's fast and really easy to use. 1-800-COLLECT's a lifesaver. How can I ever thank you? Tell your friends. 1-800-COLLECT. It's fast, it's easy, it's safe.
Big Bats swing into action on ESPN when Chipper and the Big Cat lead the Atlanta Arsenal into San Francisco to take on Barry Bonds and Company. Braves, Giants, Sunday Night Baseball. Tomorrow at 8 on ESPN.
All I care about is baseball.
All right, tomorrow, ABC Sports Action, 4 o'clock Eastern Time. The CART FedEx Championship Series will be coming to you. The Miller Lite 200 from Mid-Ohio in Lexington, Ohio on ABC Sports. It's tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. High above this Watkins Glen International Raceway, courtesy of the fine folks at Pennzoil and our Pennzoil Copter Cab as they are behind the Ford Taurus pace car. As they go by the gravel pit. Speaking of the gravel pit, we'll show you exactly what happened here just a few moments ago to put us under caution for the second time today.
See Ben Rowe in the 74 car, the maroon car, gets in the corner. As Jerry said, got some wheel hop, had to back off the accelerator. Back off the brake, try to get under control, and he was going too fast.
All right, we continue under caution, so we'll take a break and come back with live green flag racing action from historic Watkins Glen International, celebrating its 50th anniversary for American road racing. Back in a moment.
I'll be back on Tuesday. The number's on the fridge. I color-coded all your meals so you won't be confused. The blue one is a beef dish. B is for beef. The pink one's a pork dish. P is for pork. You get the idea. The green one is for vegetables. It should be violet for vegetables. But I thought you might see violet but seeing purple and interpret pork, which would defeat the whole purpose of convenient color coding altogether. 4 minutes on high, stir halfway. Bye, guys.
So what do you guys want for dinner, blue or pink?
Did somebody say McDonald's?
I hope Mom color-coded breakfast, too.
Nice shot, Ace.
For the ultimate in soccer action, Get the ultimate soccer gear. Adidas and Champ Sports. Race fans. What brings them together? What draws these noble pilgrims to their hallowed grounds? Is it the speed, the passion, the thrill of victory?
It's $1 million. It's the money. It's the money.
Fill up with Texaco Clean System 3 and play Race to Millions. Get the lucky card and your driver could win you $1 million.
I thought they came to see me.
Play Texaco's Race to Millions now.
Back at Watkins Glen International Raceway, under caution for the second time today, a full course caution due to a car number 74 out of Ben Rowe, spinning down in the gravel pits. Our 7th place car is last year's winner here, Ted Christopher, who's had a pretty busy weekend so far. Let's see if we can talk with him.
Hey, Ted, this is Benny Parsons down at ESPN. You hear me?
You're loud and clear, Benny.
You started 2nd, and now you're back to 7th. What's happening?
The car was really loose right at the start of the race. It's starting to come in pretty good now. Biding my time, keep it on the track, keep everything working, and, stays working well for the end of the race.
When do you think we'll be seeing your first pit stop?
Looking at probably in about 25 to 30, I think.
Well, good luck to you.
Benny?
Said he's real loose to begin with. Maybe he's like Ricky Craven that started with the air pressure down a little bit low, and said the car is starting to come around just like Ricky Craven's car. It is starting to come around again.
There's the Wheelan car number 13. Wheelan, they make the light bars that are on top of the safety cars and on top of ambulances and fire trucks. They make tornado sirens, I'm told, so heavily involved in this sport in other ways. In fact, probably those lights, I would imagine, on top of that Ford Taurus there leading the field come from that company. Ted Christopher hoping to be able to go south and run some more Busch South Series events before the year's out, run selected events. That's on the NASCAR Modified and Busch North. And as you heard him, we say earlier, he had gone to Stafford Springs last night where he finished 4th and 3rd in twin events up there on the NASCAR Modified Series.
See the cars weaving back and forth. I guess the bicycle, Kyle, are just like the radial. They still collect that debris on the tires. You got to get it off.
Collect a lot of debris, and the one thing that the bicyclists used to do was if you could cool them off, they were better right off the get-go. The radial tires, they seem to hold their heat a little bit better, and they don't cool off as much. It takes a lot to cool these off, so these guys have gotten their tires cooled off because the cautions have been so long. They're trying to get a little bit of heat back in them.
And not only these Mias Ply tires, these are an economy, what they call a spec economy tire. They're about $125 each. I'm told $528 a set when you throw in tax, to try to keep the cost down on this series. They're an American Racer tire, formerly called McCrary.
Go, 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 go.
And we've got a couple of guys that's diving in the pits. Brad Late's coming down pit road. We saw Mike Olson coming down pit road. This could be planned, trying to make that pit stop. And hope the caution flag comes out. We see Kim Baker, the yellow car, has gone by Tom Carey, moved into the 5th spot.
As you watch the field snake through the S's, the strategy was to make one pit stop and one pit stop only to get it as full of fuel as you could. Now remember, there are 46 laps to go. You got to wonder if these guys can make it this far, but I guess they're going to try.
Battle for the lead. And Brian Wall, 77, takes it over. Kyle, I think you're right. These tires cooled a little bit, and they're sticking a little bit better than they were before the caution flag came out.
Yeah, it just takes a little bit of coolant in a bias flat tire. That's a great pass right there, because that's such a tough place to pass. There's got to be give and take, so that's a lot of trust between those first two drivers to go into the chicane or the interlude side by side.
Brian Wall in a Chevrolet, Bennett in a...
No, you better not say, his dad is a Ford dealer, Jerry. You better put him in a Ford.
Brian Wall's in a Ford. His dad's driving a Chevrolet. Exactly. We'll tell you more about that in a minute. Anyway, Brian Wall in a Ford, Bennett in a Chevrolet. And, of course, the Chevy back in 3rd spot is Craven, with Stefanik in a Chevy in 4th. Kim Baker in a Chevrolet in 5th spot. Well, the fuel mile strategy may be playing out, right, Ray?
You're right, Jerry. Just like Benny speculated, it was a planned pit stop for Mike Olson in the Little Trees number 61. But there's a little interesting twist to this strategy. They think they can go 42 laps if it was under green. They pitted at lap 16, so that would mean they would be 4 laps short of making it to the finish. but they're planning on there being lots of yellows in this race, and they think when everyone else pits, they'll be at the lead of the pack.
Boy, that is rolling the dice. But, of course, last year there were 9 caution flags for almost half the race, 29 laps, so that they based on history, they're probably going to be in pretty good shape.
And then you see Christopher coming off the corner. What's that probe light on top of the dash? Is that when the oil pressure light comes on or something? Or
one of them may be an oil light. The other one may be an RPM light. We had in the past had things that were like RPM lights when you got to a point. It's like a shift point. You don't even have to watch the pack sometimes. The light will come on. You can set it and dial it in at 8100 or 8200. We've done that before at Martinsville and places like that. And the other one's probably just an oil pressure light. But to be honest with you, I don't know what they are. They put a brake light in my car one time at Martinsville on the dash. Every time I put my foot on the brake, the lash would light up so that I knew not to drag my foot on the brake. Second pit stop, I had them hand me a hammer, and I busted it out because it was bothering me.
It was on all the time, right?
All the time. I had it on all the time. That's exactly
You know what they call that light, don't you?
What?
I'll tell you.
Okay, tell me later. Would that be an idiot light?
I think that's what they were talking about.
We'll watch these lights as he goes down. Some of our observers thought that when he downshifted a moment ago that the right light would come on. And that time it did not come on. So it's probably something that means he's exceeding the safe RPM, the RPM that they don't want to go past.
And it could, because a lot of times these guys turn the most RPMs, and I'm the world's worst to do it, I'll admit it, is on the downshift. You'll zing that thing up to 92, 9300. And if you've got an 84, 85 chip in it, then that light will come on, it'll shut it off, and it'll let the car just flutter a little bit.
Boy, Ted Christopher looking awfully smooth here. He won this race a year ago. A little bit of sheet metal damage on the right side of that car. As you heard Intel Benny Parsons during the break a moment ago, when he came out of commercial, the car was awfully loose. That's why he had slidden back to 7th spot.
You see Bennett, the black car, trying to get on the inside of Brian Wall. That's their leader, 77, Brian Wall. Brad Bennett is in the 2nd spot. And Stefanik is on pit road, 51 car on pit road. Now this, I'm sure he planned as well.
He told us he wanted to try to make it to lap 20. It's lap 19. They're actually on lap 20 right now. So here comes the 51, the defending series champion. Let's go to Ray.
Same thing we talked about earlier, Jerry. This is a planned stop for fuel, but they are going to go with 2 cans there and make sure every bit of fuel is in that Burnham Boilers car. He has made his pit stop now, and they think they can go the distance.
There's a 61 and the 55. Olson and Brad Layton made their pit stops a moment ago. They go by. It was interesting to see how the 51 car of Stefanik comes out versus him. We got trouble for the 88 car on pit road.
That's Jeff Taylor out of Farmington, Maine. They're pushing that car back toward the garage area a short afternoon. Well, Pit Strategy won this race the last couple of years, both in Winston Cup and in the Busch North Series. Remember, Jeff Bodine 2 years ago did it by pitting short. Based on fuel mileage only, not being concerned about the caution flags. We'll see if that plays out well for those guys who've already made pit stops. Now here are others. Kelly Moore down pit road. Dale Shaw into the pits. There they are, coming down at 35 miles an hour.
Yes, once again, trying to make this pit stop as early as they can. Bill Weber, they're coming to you.
And they trail down pit road at this racetrack, and this will be fuel only for Dale Shaw. We're not going to take out any tires. 20 laps on the board. Working lap 21. Fuel only stop for Dale Shaw. It's full. He's on his way. We'll see how it works out.
See, now they only put 1 can of gasoline in that car, Stefanik, and we see Martin Truex in the pits in the AutoZone car. Gas only.
They check the tires in the car number 6 for Truex, who finished 3rd here last year, still on pit road. Making sure they get it completely full of fuel.
They put that 2nd can up on Truex, but Dale Shaw only put 1 can of fuel in the car.
Here's Stuff Fads in the car number 16, the Napa machine. Getting completely full of fuel. Making an adjustment on that car. That's Dave Albee, the crew chief.
The official, this fella right here, says he's speeding down pit road. Now this guy is arguing. He says there's no way that Stuff Fat at 64 years old is going to break any of your speed limits.
That was Dave Albee. But to no avail, they held him 15 more seconds, and now Stuff Fadden will pull away. and he indeed lost a lap in the pits. Meanwhile, we'll tell you that Brian Wall is your leader. There's the car number 77, and the 4 car in second spot of Brad Bennett. Ricky Craven is back in third position. The 4 spot going to Kim Baker. And the Redline Oil Chevrolet, that's the yellow car, top of your screen. He's in 4th position. As we are past the 20-lap mark, making lap 21. And a couple of youngsters up front, 26 and 24 years of age respectively. Wall and Bennett showing the way at Watkins Glen International Raceway. Back in a moment.
Okay, my big debut. Here we go. Wise. Okay, I'm ready when you are.
Good.
Wise. Did he forget his line or what? Is this the regular one or is he the understudy? Is this... Yeah, thank you. Hey, you gotta wait for me. Hold it, not you. He goes, then I... Wait a second, not you. Hold it. Why? Why? I can't work in this environment. Cut! Cut!
People say in the town of Flatwoods, the most exciting thing to do is sit around and watch the paint dry. Especially when it's Behr Premium Plus only from the Home Depot.
It's going on so smoothly.
Nice color.
It's 100% acrylic. It's like putting a plastic shell on your house.
And since Behr has a lifetime guarantee, these people know they won't be seeing this much excitement again for quite a while. Behr Premium Plus, the premium paint with a Home Depot price.
While these two trucks appear to be exactly the same, there is, however, one measurable difference. The brand of brake pads. Performance Friction Carbon Metallic. The power to stop the best. Ask for them at AutoZone.
Back at Watkins Glen, not what the leaders wanted to see. A parked car on the racetrack, that being the efforts of the car number 30, Dennis Doyle, out of Plymouth, Connecticut. And that will bring out another full course caution here on lap 23. As the pace car poised to pull onto the racetrack. And, Benny, this is not what the guys up front wanted to see at all.
Well, the problem is that when the caution comes out, and there's the leaders coming by the start-finish line, they close pit road. Now, the pace car will come out and pick these guys up. The next time by, there's the pace car commencing to pull on the racetrack to pick up our leader, Brian Wall. Oh, the pace car's going to get run over if he's not careful by Simo. And that could be A.J. Parker. But anyway, if these guys now are going to make a pit stop, all the fellows that have made pit stops that we've chronicled will be in front of these. They've got to pass all these cars. There must be 7 or 8 of them so far.
Okay, here's what happened to bring out the caution flag. The car number 30 a moment ago. Down in turn 1. That's the blue car on the right side of your screen.
Goes in the corner. We see the smoke coming out of the car. And as he accelerates off this corner there, we see the thing just let go inside. You had that new yesterday, didn't it, Kyle?
Yeah, and that's right. He's in the pull stage right there. He's getting ready to pull it back into 3rd gear, and all of a sudden it comes out the bottom.
Well, while the car number 30 of Dennis Doyle waits for the safety crews and wreckers to come by and give him an assist, we'll take a break and come back with more live racing action from Watkins Glen International.
You don't get in this kind of shape running on a treadmill. You do it with strength exercise, and I do it with a Bowflex. You know, if you're not working out with strength training right now, you need to. Because if you want to lose weight, you got to add the muscle, and that's why you need a Bowflex machine. It's like nothing else you've ever tried before. We've got over 60 exercises you can do on a Bowflex. You're never going to get bored. You can do a full workout in 20 minutes on a Bowflex machine. You're not going to believe how effective Bowflex is the first time you get on it. Bowflex may look a little different, but that's because we designed it to function correctly. Bowflex uses power rod resistance. Bowflex power rods are so effective that Bowflex guarantees results in 6 weeks or your money back. Try going to the gym and getting a guarantee on results. You won't find it. If you call and get our free videotape, you're going to see an effective workout and see how easy and quick and fun working out with Bowflex is.
Are you old school? Old school, like Earl the Pearl, shaking and baking.
Mark Fidrich.
Bobby Orr.
Joe Lewis, old school.
Old school is Paul Bear Bryant.
Mini Esposito.
Like Pistol Pete.
Illy Funkster socks.
Black Sox.
Short.
Definitely old school. Old school like me. We is urban.
Dr. J.
Running down like in the 70s with a big afro.
Got it going on.
I can play basketball with anybody. Now that's old school.
We welcome you back to Watkins Glen International Raceway for the Pepsi 150 NASCAR Busch Grand National North Series. And the big question is, will the leaders pit this time? Talking about Wall and Bennett, Ricky Craven, Kim Baker. Will those guys decide to come on the pit road as we are at lap 23? The big question, I guess, would be, could they make it on fuel, depending on what kind of fuel.
We don't need to get out that quick, man. I could win this thing. Let's go, man. You guys can do it.
That's Brian Wall talking to his crew, said, we can win this thing. Get out, don't make no mistakes.
That's Buddy DeRocher, the crew chief, saying they've got to get him out.
Right, $4 grand first gear. $4 grand first gear.
That's 35 miles per hour. That's 4,000. They don't have a speedometer in these cars, so that's 4,000 RPMs in first gear. Bill, they going to pit?
While they're talking back and forth about it, I expect to see Ricky Craven on pit road, and here are all your leaders. Now, this is not what Craven's team wanted. They wanted to pit under green and take 4 tires. They don't believe with a biased plies that taking 2 tires is a big advantage, but you can only take 2 under caution in this Busch North race. So Ricky Craven will get 2 left side tires, a fresh drink, and a full load of fuel. Tony Liberati and Scott Kluka from the Budweiser team are changing tires. They've also got Jeff Opel on the jack and Scott Kroll working the gas tank. So they've got a full team down here, and Craven's away. Let's go to Ray.
Well, Bill, down on this end, it's going to be left side tires for both Brian Wall in the 77 and for the 4 car of Bennett. They're going to have fuel in them and no chassis changes. You would expect them not to, because these cars have been working awfully well. They're having kind of a long pit stop with Brian Wall, and he was down off the jack and had to fix a left rear tire, but he is down and away.
And we see the stop sign there at the end of pit road, waiting for all the cars to go by on the racetrack. And Tom Carey is over the line. You see this line? They cannot, this line here, they cannot have the nose of the car across that line and make a pit stop. There will be a penalty, and the official is standing there. Man, oh man, he was running about 5 or 6 spots.
That's Jeff Papladlo, the crew chief there, talking to the NASCAR official. And my, that will hurt. As tight as the points are, this young man, they completed their pit work. Now they will hold him a lap. Wow. Well, 30 cars are on the lead lap. That means they will be a lap down when we go back to green momentarily in possibly 36th position. There are 5 cars being shown a lap down. And if you're wondering why they're not going to change the other 2 tires, as you heard Bill Weber say, the rules will only allow you to change 2 tires in the Busch North Series under caution. You can have as many as you want under green, but only 2 under caution. They can't do anything else.
They can only change 2 all day. Now, if the caution flag comes out again in 30 laps and they decide to pit, they can't. All the cars that have changed 2 tires cannot pit anymore, because you can only change 2 tires today, regardless of how many times you stop on the caution flag. Bill Weber?
Eddie, Kyle.
Yes, sir.
Want to play question and answer?
Let's try.
Okay, when do you leave the pit stop as a driver? When do you leave?
When your head hits the top of the ceiling when they drop it so hard.
Right, unless this is a fuel mileage race, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Craven probably left too early. They did not get the car full of fuel. So that's something you'll have to keep in mind. They did drop the jack, and that's when he left, but they think they only got a couple of gallons in from the second can. They didn't get all the gas, and Craven didn't get his Gatorade, and he's been asking for that for several laps, too. So they've got a few problems down here. They might not be able to reach the finish.
Well, that was Brian Berry, the crew chief there, talking with Ricky. And they are still holding the car number 42 of Tom Carey Jr.
You know, I mean, that's the rule. That is the rule. But, you know, for these guys in the Busch North 180, this rule is too severe for them, Kyle.
Yeah, this penalty on this racetrack is way too severe.
It's a killer.
Yeah, it's a killer penalty right there. You know, and that's what I was thinking. What are they going to hold him for the next week? I mean, he's just over the line right here, and he's at the end of pit road right here. But you know, it's just like we talked in the opening of the thing. You know, Location breeds success, and position breeds success here on this racetrack. And one miscue in the pits and changes the outcome of the race, and obviously for these guys, change the points.
And this could change the outcome for the season. I mean, we're past the halfway point here in this season. We're in the 10th race of 17. So points, points, points. The point Benny made, and location, location, location. Kyle Petty's comments both coming to bear for this young man here, Tom Carey Jr. Man, oh man.
Well, the lights are out atop the safety car, so we're going to be seeing green flag in just a little bit. We see, looks like John Preston as their points leader. Tom Carey still sits on pit road. And
get ready. Get ready. Go, 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 go.
Looks like John Preston in the car number 89 will lead him down underneath the waving green flag of Donnie Horvath.
Now we've got a mess about to happen down here in the corners. We see Stefanik and Olsen. And we see now Tom Carey comes back on the racetrack.
Carey's the 42 car.
I guess that Rettmeyer in 59, the mobile car, is the leader. And we see all these cars going by the 16 of Steph Batten. There we see Rettmeyer in 59. Mike Olsen in 61 will be in second. Stefanik will be in third. Oh, my goodness gracious. We're going to have a parking lot here in a minute when they all try to get to the corner.
They did a great job coming through there, too wide and coming out the other side, single file.
We saw Brad Benton way. He's back in 19th spot after that pit stop. Brian Wall's back in 17 as they try to work their way back to this field.
And you got to remember, it's just like we were talking before. These guys, they pitted under green and they come out, but there were a lot of guys that we've seen pit off and on intermittently who've had trouble that are in between the lead pack of cars and these guys too, because they had already made their pit stops.
And we see Stefanik dived on the inside of a lap car. That 86 car is, in fact, a lap down of Dennis Demirs. And Tom Carey is now in second spot, right between the leader and Mike Olsen. If he could just get up there and get in front of 59, Rettmeyer, and the cars should come out, then maybe he could be saved from a very, very disappointing day. And we see Dale Shaw. We saw him pit earlier on the green. There goes Kelly Moore, the 47 car. The Tic Tac car. Jerry Marquis, Brad Lacey, 55.
Shaw is fourth, Moore is fifth, Marquis is sixth, and Layton is seventh. With Tracy Gordon in the car number 14, last year's rookie of the year showing at 8th spot. Back at ninth, pretty good run for John Wall Sr. in a Chevrolet, former road racing ace. And that's Mike Olsen in the car number 61, trying to get by the lap car of Carey.
Whoa, he's going to spin! Right in front of all these cars, and Stefanik runs into him. And here come all the cars. The entire pack, the entire field is going to be coming behind these cars. And so far, so good.
Stefanik is backed up and gotten away. Olsen's still sitting there right in the turn.
Now, what is their rule on racing back to the flag? Because the leader did not get the caution flags.
Well, Stefanik would have been the points leader. There's the Burnham Boilers Chevrolet, what's left of the front end coming down pit road. Now, Stefanik would have been the point leader with Carey having been held a lap on pit road. Now he is in the pits.
Man, oh man. Looks like it doesn't pay to be the points leader today. See as he comes in the white line. You see? Right there, he's got to stop for that white line. Ray?
Well, Benny, their big problem right now is assessing the damage on this race car. It doesn't appear that there's any fluid coming out of the front, so they may have been lucky enough not to damage the radiator, but they do need to assess the damage here before they can get Mike back out, but it looks to me like a lot of it's just cosmetic.
That's Mike.
Pull it out. Let's pull the whole thing right. 1, 2, 3, go!
That's Mike Greasy talking. He's the crew chief.
Making a big tag. It's a wire line, side by side. Hold it out.
George, to show you again what happened to Olson and then Stefanik subsequently up in turn 7.
There's Olson in the 61 car. Now, he's going to try to really swing that car and get on the inside of Carey. And when he does, he just goes around. And he spins across the racetrack, and Stefanik, I mean, Kyle, he had nowhere to go.
Nowhere at all to go. And he was already in the corner. He hits his brakes, and as you can see, it starts to slide. He's got the wheels cut to the right, and it goes straight into the side.
There we see Olson come around, and there was nothing in the world that Stefanik could do, as we see. And we're lucky that it was not about an 8 or 10 car crash, because this is this right front just locked the brakes down as he tries to miss Olson.
And, you know, he was on the brakes 50 yards before he ever hit the car. But that shows how quick things happen here. He's on the brakes, they're locked up, and it just continues to push out straight across the racetrack.
Let's go back to Ray.
Well, guys, there is absolutely nothing wrong with the engine of this race car. It's all cosmetic. They've got bungee cords and some big patches of tape here. But the big advantage for Mike Stefanik is how long it takes to run a pace lap here. These guys have a lot of time to get this car just right and get him back out. Now let's go down to Bill Weber.
With Brian Berry, crew chief for Ricky Craven, your crew cheered when that caution came out. Did you need some yellow flag laps?
Yeah, I mean, we really needed about 1 or 2 so we could make it lap 62 on fuel. So this is like God sent for us right here.
Can you make it now?
We'll let you know on lap 62, won't we?
What do you think?
I'll let you know then.
Okay. Well, they are smiling a little bit, and there were a few high fives down here, so they're pretty certain at this point they can make it. Of course, you try telling your driver you're pretty certain you can make it.
All right, some damage on the car number 77 has also had some contact on the racetrack. That is Brian Wall, our early leader in the front of his Ford Thunderbird. So maybe some questions being answered by this caution for Ricky Craven, who's back in 11th spot. Caution, a tough one for Mike Olson and Mike Stefanik as they had their troubles in turn 7. Lou Rittenmeyer is our leader. Back in just a moment.
The year was 1923. The automobile was changing America, and Purolator invents the oil filter, coining the phrase, pure oil now, pure oil later. Purolator. And the rest is history. After all, we invented the business.
Hi, I'm Ken Schrader, and I'm Mike Waller. We'd like to congratulate Purolator on 75 years in business and your involvement in racing. You've been there for the sport, and you've been there for the customer. So happy anniversary, Purolator, and congratulations on 75 years of being the leader.
Plug into low prices all over the store today at Circuit City. Right now, all appliances are on sale. Like this Roper by Whirlpool 20.4 cubic foot refrigerator, just $499.99 with free ice maker, a $55 value. All home audio is on sale too. Like this 3-disc mini audio system for just $99.99. And get a $100 price break on this Sony 8mm Handycam with color viewfinder, just $399.99. Plug into low prices today at Circuit City.
There's 75 guys on the roster, but once regular season starts, there's only 53 guys on the roster, and a lot of people are going to, be packing their bags and going home. It's really a lot of pressure to do what you have to do to make this football game.
Back at Watkins Glen, big weekend here. Budweiser at the Glen. We're going to sum up tonight on RPM tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Winston Cup preview of action right here. Kart qualifying recap and truck highlights. That should be a barn burner in the Craftsman Truck Series. Later today, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, happy hour on ESPN2. Tomorrow, RPM today at 11:30 a.m. NASCAR today at 12:30 Eastern Time. And then our buddy Bob Jenkins will step in here and host our live flag-to-flag coverage of the NASCAR Winston Cup 13th running of the Budweiser at the Glen, 1 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN. Why are we under caution? Well, lap 26, this happened.
Mike Olson, the 61 car, comes off the corner, spins around, and Mike Stefanik runs into him with no place to go. Meanwhile, the car's getting ready for the restart. The light is out atop the safety car. Cars are weaving back and forth, trying to get all the debris off these tires and get them ready to go. Our leader is the 59, Lou Rettenmeyer.
And Benny Lou Rettenmeyer has won 10 or 12 times here in SCCA competition. I think he still holds the Super V track record at Watkins Glen, so he's a very accomplished road racer from Trans Am, Formula Atlantic, Formula Ford, Formula V, and Super V, so he knows what he's doing. Let's see if we can see some possible damage on that 77 car again.
You see the right front fender on the outside where he's just touched someone, and you're right, he's gotten that fender very, very close to that right front tire.
All right, 28 laps are complete of 62.
You see Mark Truex, he's back in the 9th spot. Green is out. And here comes Carey trying to get that lap back. He's on the outside of Rettenmeyer. He does not have the preferred line, but he does beat him in the corner. Now, can he stay there?
So now he is on the tail end of the lead lap. And now he needs a caution. Rettenmeyer still the leader. Shaw in second spot. Marquis is third. The 7 car is Shaw. The 15 is Marquis. They're just flashing by to the edges. Fastest part of this race course down the back straightaway, 2,600 feet.
Big 86, Dennis Chenier is trying to better get his lap back as well.
Now, if you're wondering about Mike Stefanik, who was involved in the accident, he's a reigning series champion. He made his pit stop. We showed you the work that they were doing on the car. They did not lose a lap. They are the last car on the lead lap being shown in 28th spot. And there goes Mike right there in the 51 car.
And look at Brad Bennett back there with him as well. The car that ran so well earlier on in the race. Led the race. Ray Dunlap, what happened to Bennett? How come he's back there?
Well, Benny, they had to come in and pit once again because the first time when they came in for fuel, they did not get the catch can all the way in to release that check valve, and they weren't able to fill up the 4-car with fuel, so he had to come back in, and that's why he's lost all that track position. As far as the 77 car, they say they think that right front tire is going to be just fine. There's no way they're going to take a chance on pitting right now.
See, Dale Shaw just lost second spot. Meanwhile, here comes Brian Wall. See no smoke going off that left front, the right front, I should say. There when he goes in the corner, I don't see any smoke either, so it looks like he caught a break there, Kyle.
Yeah, there's no smoke, but that definitely changes the way these cars drive. Aerodynamics are really important here as far as downforce on the nose. And basically, by knocking the front fenders in, you take the downforce away from these cars. So I'm not sure he's going to be as fast as he was before.
Brian Wall going through the inner loop section of the racetrack.
Brian started on the outside of the front row last year.
You see his daddy just move over and let him go by? That was his dad in the number 1 car.
Brian Wall, that's John Wall Sr. There's a 7 and the 47 that are running for third position, third and fourth respectively.
Jerry Marquis was able to get by Dale Shaw last lap, taking the second spot. There we see Tom Carey. Once again, this white car is the points leader, a lap down. And, you know, he couldn't get by Rettenmeyer earlier in the last on the last green flag segment. And not able to get by, but on the restart, he was able to get by. And right now, he's putting a little distance on himself. Rettenmeyer.
Just because you're behind somebody, and you can be faster and not make any ground on it. You see what the points are right now if the race ended at this.
Marquis finished second a year ago in the final finish behind Mike Stefanik by 65. Leighton, Carey, and Stefanik. Carey will drop to third spot as we have more problems on the racetrack.
And a caution flag is out. Does that get his lap back? It does, because they did not race back to the line, I don't think. And see Jamie Obey looks like some heavy damage to that 67.
The 23 car of Rob Rizzo out of North Providence, Rhode Island. The whole front of that car has been damaged.
So what we're talking about in racing rules, the blue car is the leader. The 59 car, Rettenmeyer, is the leader. The pace car will go out and get in front of him, and he'll run 35 miles per hour. That red car on your right side of the screen will be able to cruise on around the racetrack and make up 2.5 miles. On the 86 car got by as well, didn't he, Kyle?
And both these guys made up their laps on that, so that's a big break for both of these guys. Even though, you know, you say, how big a break can it be? They're at the tail end. At least they're back on the lead lap, and they're able to race, and we saw the points. This can be big for the points.
So both Demers and Carey, the 86 and the 42, getting back to the lead lap. Jamie Obey, heavy contact with the car number 67 into the concrete, the Armco barrier. Let's see if we can see what may have happened to these two guys.
Here we see right there, just Obey looks like he gets a tap from behind it in that inside wall. And look at the radiator brake. And here comes Rizzo with no place to go. Was that Eric Bodine that might have just tapped the... Let's see that again. And we'll probably be here long enough cleaning this mess up. We will be able to see it again.
Yeah, there was a puff of smoke right before the car veered right.
Maybe he missed a shift or something, yeah. And Eric Bodine got into
and got into him because there was a big puff of smoke that looks like it comes out from under the car.
Look again, see if we can see it here.
Yep. Yeah, right. He missed a shift, and that's why Bodine got in the back. Good catch there, Kyle.
Yeah. Good eyes, Kyle. That's why you drive a race car.
Right here. See that puff of smoke? That's...
And right there, that's where you're beginning to pull it back into third gear. You come out of that first corner, and in second gear, you pull back into third, and you're so close there that, you know, you saw it. Somebody makes a little mistake, and it's total bedlam.
Well, you saw the spray from that radiator when the Obey's car spun around. Just water everywhere. Let's check into pits with Ray.
Doc, what a year it has been for Jamie Obey. Of course, he's a three-time champion in this series, but they came in 13th in the points, and they have not had any good luck. It all started yesterday in happy hour when the rear end busted in that car, and they lost the brakes, and he was coming down pit road. They couldn't even get the car stopped, so they had to put a new rear end, new transmission, an awful lot of money into that car, and of course his day is going to be over from that damage in the crash.
Well, Jamie Obey, a former three-time series champion here for the NASCAR North Series. Won it back in 88, 89, and 90. His day is over here on lap number 32 at Watkins Glen. Back with more road racing in just a moment.
In the blink of an eye, this man will have to resist a basic human impulse. Could you? Don't slam on the brake. You could lose control completely. Hold on. Get off the gas. And gradually pull off the road. Find more driving safety tips in this book. It's free from Shell. Count on Shell.
Recently, no-touch scientists discovered a revolutionary breakthrough. It cleans, it shines, it protects, but more importantly, it rocks! Deep Purple Wheel Care. Powerful purple foam that turns blue to beat dirt and grime. Kicks butt on brake dust and leaves behind nothing but shine. With a protective barrier that rocks on, bro! Deep Purple Wheel Care from No Touch. It's purple, it's blue, it's real cool. Also try No Touch Tire and Glass Care.
Hi, Tom Bodette. Well, this is what I looked like back when I was new. And this is a new room at Motel 6. When I was new, a new room at Motel 6. Cute, huh? I'm Tom Bodette, and we'll leave the light on for you.
Husky, the toughest name in tools. Guaranteed forever. Available at the Home Depot.
Back at Watkins Glen International Raceway, high above this 2.45-mile, 7-turn road course with an interloop. These gorgeous shots courtesy of the fine folks at Pennzoil and our Pennzoil Copter Can as the field heads beneath the Winston Cup Series bridge. Now, we told you coming into today, the top 10 in points in this series were very, very close. Just 22 points separating Mike Stefanik from Tom Carey. Just 103 points separating the top 5.
Well, okay, Tom Carey. We know he's had a problem because we saw him. He made a mistake in the pit, lost a lap. But now he's gotten that lap back. He may be okay. Stefanik, we saw the big crash, but he's in the lead lap, so maybe he's okay. Marquis is currently running in second, or actually he's leading the race. Brad Layton's okay. Kelly Morris will be okay. But how about Dion? And he's probably the guy that's going to suffer the most because he is several laps down. Bobby Dragon isn't even here. Stefan's a lap down, and Brian Wall seems to be okay.
All right, how about the points as of now? Well, Jerry Marquis, our leader, would be the points leader as well. There's Layton in second spot, having gained a couple spots. Carey would drop 2 spots, and so would Stefanik, with Kelly Moore being in 5th spot. That's points if they were awarded as of right now. Well, that's the reason we're under caution right there. The 67 car of Jamie Obey being picked up. Meanwhile, 1 car, Mike Stefanik, back on pit road for service again.
Now, he has not changed tires. So he is able to put on left sides, and he's far enough back that this is good strategy, don't you think, Kyle?
Yes.
Go ahead and change those tires.
He might as well go ahead and change them. His nose was busted on the car. They were the ones that pitted early, and the race was playing into their hands until the accident. He was right in position where he needed to be. Now, at this point in time, you know, he changes tires, takes that totally out of the equation, and if the tires come in, then he can pick up a few extra positions.
We also saw the team put a little more fuel in the car, so why take a chance? Why take a chance on running out of fuel when you've been in the pit? So they put some more fuel in the car. This is really good strategy.
Well, indeed, they taped the front of the car. Why are we under caution? We'll show you once again the caution coming out on lap number 30, just at the exit of turn 1. There's Jamie Obey, a puff of smoke. The car spins around. Rob Rizzo running in the front of the car, has nowhere to go. 2 heavily damaged race cars, and that's why we are still under cleanup. Down in turns 1 and 2. Jerry Marcotte, our leader, after 33 of 62 laps.
No multi-million-dollar contracts. No victory laps. Not even a winner's circle. But if you think these weekend warriors who run the SCORE Desert Championship Series take anything for granted, think again. Which is exactly why they run with a Duralast battery from AutoZone. A battery so tough, so dependable, we back it with a 2-year free replacement guarantee. The next time you hit the road, don't settle for anything less.
Independent rear suspension, dual shocks, and a sway bar. Rick, it's all there. That's good, because when things get rough out there, suspension is everything.
Other manufacturers use a straight axle that bounces over obstacles, losing traction. Our independent rear suspension hugs the terrain for better traction and a smoother ride. The Sportsman 500 and the Sportsman 335 with shaft drive.
You gotta ride it, believe it.
Buy a new Polaris ATV now and get a Remington rifle or shotgun. See your Polaris dealer for details.
Welcome back to Watkins Glen International Raceway. Kyle Petty, Benny Parsons, Ray Dunlap, Bill Weber. Here's truly Jerry Punch, bringing you exciting live coverage of the NASCAR Busch North Series, a NASCAR touring division. The Pepsi 150, stop number 10 of 17 on the $1 3/4 million tour this year. 12th year for the NASCAR Busch North Series, started back in 1987. Our current leader, Jerry Marcotte, has not won a race here in 1998 after winning 3 times a year ago. Picking up wins at Stafford, Thompson, and Loudon last year, and finishing in runner-up position in the points to Mike Stefanik.
And Dion is still back in the pits. He has been on the racetrack and has made some laps, but he's back trying to, I guess, trying to fix the pieces. Dion is showing 17 laps down.
There comes the field by. The leaders are by. We mentioned that Tom Carey Jr. was the point leader coming into the day. Well, his entire team had sort of adopted a young lady by the name of Clarissa Ingram. She's 6 years of age, and she had really been battling with leukemia. Well, this past Monday, Clarissa lost that battle with leukemia. So Tom and the entire team told me yesterday they have dedicated this race and the rest of this year to her memory. In fact, the money they earn today will be matched by their car owners, Kevin and Jan Banning, and donated to the Ingram family as a memorial to Clarissa, a courageous young lady who lost the battle.
And now in the memory of Clarissa Ingram.
We'll be back with more from Watkins Glen International Raceway under a full course caution after 34 of 62 laps are complete. Stay with us. I know, it's just not fair. You get a little older, and what happens? Your hair falls out. What is that? Your hair falls out. Is that your story? Get a little thin up there? You know you can have your hair back at no charge. That's right, there's no cost. I said free. Just call 1-800-HAIR-CLUB and receive your free booklet on how to get your hair back for free. We're the Hair Club for Men. We're not about drugs or surgery. What we are about is adding real human hair into your own. Hair that looks and feels like your own. A natural hairstyle for an active lifestyle. So call 1-800-HAIR-CLUB right now for a free brochure, your free hair, and for a limited time, an added bonus. A free vacation, 3-day, 2-night family vacation package at your choice of major resort hotels. All you have to do is prepay for a basic club plan. That's it. So make the call and get your hair back now by calling 1-800-HAIR-CLUB. That's 1-800-HAIR-CLUB.
One driver is dominating championship auto racing like no other. His name is Alex Zanardi. Don't miss the points leader as he takes on the field in the Miller Lite 200. There'll be plenty of donuts for everyone. Sunday at 4 Eastern, 3 Pacific on ABC.
Back at Watkins Glen International Raceway, still cleaning up down in turns 1 and 2. Two cars heavily involved with the Armco barrier. Take a look at our AutoZone race recap. Jerry Marquis is our leader. Has led 3 of 34 laps. There have been 5 lead changes, 5 cautions for a total of 15 laps. The average speed thus far being down to 65.809 miles per hour. Our leaders today, Brian Wall led 13 laps, Bennett 10, Rettenmeyer 7. Marquis, our current leader, has led 3. And Ricky Craven, our pole sitter, led a lap. Down the race so far, there's a look at Obie and Rizzo. The last 2 cars involved in the incident just momentarily ago that brought out the caution flag, Doyle, Taylor, and Quarterly in the car number 32, who lost an engine on the first lap. Let's go down to Bill Weber.
When you ride along with Ted Christopher, and this is his crew chief, Roger Tryon, can you get back to the front and defend your title here?
I think we can. The Whelen Chevrolet Monte Carlo is running real good. We made a slight stagger change. We added a little bit of a wedge. And, you know, he has some good cars ahead of him, but Teddy can do it. I mean, he ran real good here last year, and we have great confidence in him.
You gambled last year a little bit and paid off for you, didn't you?
Well, yeah. We gambled. You know, we were the only car to take tires, but we had a problem with the shifter on lap 1, and Teddy came all the way from the back, so he can really get around this racetrack.
Okay, so he can get past all those guys, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay, we'll see. Green flag about to come out.
All right, we'll see indeed if Roger is right, that they can possibly get back where they need to be. They won it a year ago.
And wow, what a start that Jerry Marquis got on Rettenmeyer, and Dale Shaw dives down to the inside, trying to take over the second spot.
Nice shot from our Pennzoil copter cam at Shaw and Rettenmeyer side by side, exiting 1. Head to the right-hander at turn 2, and Kyle, it's a squeeze right there.
Yeah, and you can see Shaw just back out just enough to let Rettenmeyer get in line. And it's tough to go through that area, especially with all the stake drivers from where the accident just was. You want to be in single file right there. That's a fast part of the racetrack.
And look at, man, your Dale Shaw's going to try again as he dives on the inside down the backstretch. Jerry Marquis dives in the corner. Rettenmeyer. Kelly Moore's back there. And here comes Brian Wall. Wall is moving in. He's now back to about 5th spot.
We're wondering about Jerry Marquis. He is checked out on that restart. Just pulled. There's Marquis in the car number 15, looking for his first win this year, but the battle is back for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Rettenmeyer holds 2nd spot. There's the Stoll Pontiac for Dale Shaw. The Quint Bobar machine. There's Kelly Moore. Back in 4th spot.
And Kelly Moore is getting a challenge from Brian Wall. Here's Wall diving down to the inside. Kelly Moore trying to block the move. Who's it going to be? Wall, hard on the brakes, and he takes the spot away. We'll see Brian Wall now in 4th spot, trying to take off up the hill, catch those guys in front. Jerry Marquis has a 3.5-second lead on Brian Wall. Ricky Craven, 82 car, has moved into the 6th spot.
the move. The upper left of your screen shows you Wall has come from 30th to 10th. Martin Truex from 29th to 11th. He finished third a year ago. Shaw all the way from 19th starting spot in that Pontiac, the third spot. Tracy Gordon, last year's Rookie of the Year, from 23rd to 8th. Tommy Bowles from 34th to 19th.
That's John Wall, the Brian that we see there. We see Brian Wall trying to take over the third spot, fourth spot, I guess it is. That's third, is it? Yes.
Meyer, the 59 car. Shaw is the 7 car. And Wall, we're talking about Brian Wall, the 26-year-old youngster, in the 77 car. They are second, third, and fourth, with Marquis, the car just disappearing at the bottom of your screen. He's the leader.
Ricky Craven got by Kelly Moore. And looks like Eric Bodine. No, that's Stubb Patton's now leaving the pits. The Napa car.
37 laps complete, 25 to go at Watkins Glen International Raceway. Now Craven looking to the inside, looking to the outside of Shaw.
Well, he goes over to the grass, and he has position on Dale Shaw, and will take that spot away. Meanwhile, in the second spot goes Brian Wall. So Wall now takes off after the leader.
Brian Wall has been a man on a mission for about the last 2.5 laps. He's come from 5th or 6th right along in there to 2nd, and has passed each car in a different place on the racetrack. So his car is working really well.
We're talking about the driver of that car number 77 right there with a damaged right front fender. It's a Ford Thunderbird.
We'll see if he comes down. The last time by, he was 3 1/4 seconds behind the leader. He passed the car, and this time he will be 2.5 seconds by. So he gained 3/4 of a second and passed the car. So Brian Wall coming.
Let's check in Brian's pits with Ray Dunlap.
Well, Doc, there's no question that Brian Wall is a great road racer, but they pay a lot of the dividends of this car, to the car, I should say, and we've got a crash on the racetrack.
Russ Brown, the 18 car, is spun around, keeps going, and no caution flag. That's good to see.
No caution flag. Let's go back and let Ray finish his statement. Ray?
Well, Doc, what I wanted to tell you about is how good this race car is these guys have. They call it Ace, and it's the oldest car in their entire stable. Now, they do have a new Ford Taurus, and they ran that car at Dover. I think they're going to run it at Dover the next time they go back there, but they said there is no way they would bring any other car but Ace right here. It qualified 8th for the Busch Grand National race, and it was the pole winner at Lime Rock. It's a real good race car.
But he better look behind him, because our pole setter, Ricky Craven, is coming. He's now moved into that third spot.
That's Craven in the car number 82, the New Holland Chevy Monte Carlo. Behind him is Rettenmeyer. They are in third and fourth spots. Ricky was the pole sitter, as you heard Benny say. Pretty good comeback for Craven. He comes back after about 3.5 months away from that post-concussive syndrome, wins the pole at New Hampshire. And this would have been his 4th race to run. And a pole here, so 2 poles and 4 starts. Not a bad comeback for Ricky Craven.
Not a comeback, not a bad for a comeback, but I'm a little concerned about his fuel mileage. You remember they said they did not get quite enough, as much fuel as they wanted to in the car, because Ricky left a little bit too early. So maybe these caution flags are playing into the situation. We'll see.
They probably wouldn't have minded seeing the caution come out a moment ago when Russ Brown spun in the car number 18. Let's see if we can show you what happened to the 18 here just a moment ago.
Here we come in the corner, and the 86 spins as well. We did not see the 86 because it looks like that he's going to get the car going and drive away before we went back to this shot. The 86 car, Dennis Demers, also involved with Russ Brown. Never see both of them going around.
That's up in turn 7, the right-hander coming back to the front straightaway. Now, Demers is one of the cars who just gotten back on the lead lap, and he will stay there by virtue of getting the car just spun around and headed back in the right direction.
Last time by, Brian Wall was 1.8 seconds behind the leader, but he did run a faster lap than the leader, so and in fact, Brian Wall ran the fastest lap in the top 6 cars last time by.
Now, we told you our point leader, Tom Carey, had gotten back on the lead lap and was the tail end of the lead lap. Now he has climbed that car number 42 all the way back to 20th position. And In fact, he just passed the car number 21.
Oh, we see the John Wall Sr. spin down in turn 1, makes contact with the 64 Butch Cone, and look, we got cars everywhere. The 14 car, who had a terrific run going, running in 11th spot. Tracy Gordon, Bill Weber.
And the caution is out, and this is a huge break for Ricky Craven. We talked to their crew a few minutes ago. They said they let us know on lap 62 if they were going to make it. Well, now this is the caution they were hoping for. They wanted one more caution. Now they're certain they can get to the end.
Oh, they were so concerned about fuel mileage, and now the New Holland team has got to be excited about the fact they are getting some more caution flags to save that fuel. We'll check with them and let you know when we come back with more from Watkins Glen in a moment.
Budweiser has 12 breweries located across the country. The Budweiser that you get from your local brewery is usually the freshest beer available in the marketplace. Budweiser sells very quickly. The average age of Budweiser on the shelf is about 40 days. Having local breweries ensures that your Budweiser is the freshest possible beer it can be by the time you purchase it.
Need a faster truck?
Hey, this is yesterday's paper.
Now you have a chance to win a real Ron Hornaday NASCAR racing truck, a one-year lease on a 99 Chevy pickup, or a tool set during Napa Auto Parts Trucking and Tools Sweepstakes and Sale. Come by today.
Tomorrow's paper.
Regal Ride gas shocks are $10.99. Struts as low as $21.99.
And they're off. Jumping out front is Sam with his project on Irish Castles. Coming up fast is Marley with hers on iguanas. But from the outside, it's Eduardo with a multimedia Mayan mathematics report.
Now more kids can go to the head of the class, because now Radio Shack has the new compact creative learning series with software and internet enhancements specifically for learning. Only at Radio Shack. Compact home computers that can help kids do better in school so they'll do better in life.
Back at Watkins Glen International Raceway, there's the car number 64 being pulled out of the gravel. That is Butch Cone, who actually is a crew member for the Cale Yarborough Winston Cup team.
And folks, I saw the one car spin. I didn't see all this stuff. The 14 goes around. That's Tracy Gordon, Butch Cone in 64. I saw John Wall Sr., the one car spin. But look at all these cars just sneak right through you. Right there, the white and red car, that was our point center, Tom Carey, that just squeezes down between those cars. So maybe this is going to be his day.
And, Benny, that squeeze by Tom Carey, as you watch it again from a different angle, there's the one car, John Wall Sr., there's Cone, the 64 car spinning, and now other cars spinning on the inside. And with the 42 car coming through here right there, there you go, BP. That's artist work there by Benny Parsons. That is Carey. And now he will be shown in 16th position, which puts him back atop the point standings by just 3 points.
See Brittany and Brianna on the hood of John Wall. That's his grandchildren, and 2 more grandchildren on the right rear quarter panel.
All right, we'll come back and cover the cleanup and pit stops at Watkins Glen International Raceway with more Busch North competition in just a moment.
Coming in, guys.
Look, Bill's in trouble. Don't worry, Bill. We'll take it from here. Go, 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 Bill! Here! Where can you always find a fast and friendly drive-thru crew? Did somebody say McDonald's?
Hi, I'm Ken Schrader. And I'm Mike Wallace. We'd like to congratulate Purelator on 75 years in business and your involvement in racing. You've been there for the sport, and you've been there for the customer. So happy anniversary, Purelator, and congratulations on 75 years of being the leader.
At Plank Road, we don't do everything well. Fortunately, beer is something we do well. Ice House, thanks, and enjoy.
Back at Watkins Glen International Raceway, another car stalled on the racetrack. The record coming to help would be the car of Dennis Demers. We told you that some of the cars might consider coming on the pit road to top off with fuel. With 41 laps complete, still 21 to go here in the 62-lap event. There comes the Ford Taurus safety car. Jerry Marquis.
Jerry Marquis, the leader, was one of the first cars to pit. So if there's anybody that's in jeopardy, I think would be run out of fuel, it would be Marquis, because if I'm not mistaken, he was the first car to make a pit stop, like on lap 17 or 18 or something.
All right, the car number 7 of Dale Shaw coming in. Those first guys pitted actually on lap 16, so that was quite a while ago. There comes Dale Shaw from 8th position, the Skoll Pontiac. Coming down pit road, the 1994 Series champion, Quint Bovair, and the crew now getting ready to put some fuel in that car, and they will raise the hood on the car number 7.
Well, he's been falling back. Jerry, you know, we saw him up in second spot, and he'd been losing positions about every lap, so it looks like they're checking to see if a plug wire has come off, like he is running on 7 cylinders.
A tough break for Dale Shaw, our most recent winner in the Busch North competition, having won in New Hampshire last week, driving his own Ford. Now taking over for the ride vacated by Bobby Dragon. Also back on pit road, the Bandage Burnham Boiler Chevrolet for Mike Stefanik.
And they're going to bandage some more. Everybody's got a roll of tape in their hand, putting tape on there. Oh, which way do I do this now? Oh, it's not funny. I'm not laughing at the torn-up race car. I'm laughing at trying. He's not doing any good with that tape, is he, Kyle?
No, he's just putting it on top and taking it right back off.
Let's go to Bill.
Well, the hood's just been closed on Dale Shaw's car, and we'll find out in a second if they fix the problem, but he is running on 7 cylinders, as Benny speculated. They were hoping that it's just a plug wire. We'll check and get back to you.
All right, Dale Shaw back running up in the Busch North Series, and he hopes to be able to go back and run full-time in the Busch South maybe in 1999. Had a couple of great runs, a number of great runs for James Finch's operation last year, including a runner-up finish at South Boston, Virginia.
Yeah, it sounds like it's on 7 cylinders.
It's that sound that every driver hates to hear, especially when you're sitting behind the steering wheel.
Well, are we right, Bill Weber?
Of course you're right, DP.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's, they check for plug wires. That's not it. It's something internal in the engine, so they'll be limping around on 7 cylinders until it goes to 6, 5, and then they go to the garage.
Tracy Gordon, who was involved in the 14 car, is back in the lead lap, back on the tail end, but he did lose a lap. Did Tracy Gordon lose a lap? I guess he did.
I don't think when he spun, he lost a lap. I believe he's still back on the lead lap, back in 22nd position. Well, there's the bandaged machine of Mike Stefanik, and you got to wonder, not only is the car suffering, he started today, if you just joined us, with an injury to his lower back. Pain down both legs, numbness, weakness in both legs. Hoping to be able to go to the doctor early next week from picking up a case of dog food. So he has to finish this race, jump in a car, go to the airport, fly to Long Island, New York, get another car, go to that racetrack Riverhead, and run a modified event tonight.
Tell you what, he's lost all the downforce on the nose of that car, hasn't he, Kyle?
Yeah, every single bit of it. The valence is about, he's forgo the 5 and 5 rule. He's got about a 15 and 5 rule on the front of that thing right now.
All right, we're finally going to see some more green flag racing. Lights out atop the pace car. The car is weaving back and forth.
All right, but we're also going to have some baseball action coming your way tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Travel west to 3-Cop Park in San Francisco for Sunday night baseball's game of the week. The Braves and the Giants. Yeah, Chipper Jones and Barry Bonds going at it. The Braves lead the East, while the Giants are in a battle for the wild card. Sunday night baseball, 8 o'clock Eastern time only on ESPN.
We found a Louisville Slugger in the pit road. That's the tool they use to roll fenders when they have a bang-up fender like Brian Wall's fender.
They're prepared for bent fenders and snow in that pit. They got their snowshoe hanging beside their Louisville Slugger. They're ready for everything up here. They know we're above the Mason-Dixon line, but it's been a beautiful weekend at Watkins Glen. It's going to get even better looking here in these final few laps as Jerry Marquis jumps to the throttle and pulls them out of turn 7.
Kelly Moore is trying to battle for 4th spot. He takes it from Rettenmeyer. Nope, I don't know. Here comes Rettenmeyer back on the inside, and Kim Baker dives on the inside up at 10, the yellow 10 of Brad Layton in the orange 55, or maroon 55. And meanwhile, it's a jumble or a jungle.
Or a swarm or a gaggle.
Yeah.
They all got through turn 1, and now they're single file up through the Essex.
And here comes Brian Wall. He's been clearly faster, the fastest car at front, cannot get a run. Meanwhile, Kim Baker, no, that's Simo, isn't it? That Brian said, no, it's Kim Baker trying to get by Red Meyer. He does it. Has to use a little bit of curving, but that's okay. He's got the spot.
Simo's in the second yellow card. Yeah, there it is. Race 22nd. He moved up into the 9th or 10th position right now. He's had a great run.
Now there's Tom Carey, the car number 42, right in front of the 61 car. He is now being shown in 15th position. There's Marquis.
Brian Wall. Also, Ricky Craven. And Wall is all over the backup. Marquis, Jerry Marquis. Craven, meanwhile, is taking a look at Brian Wall.
Craven looks to the inside. Wall holds the middle line, but Craven will have the shot in turn 1.
Brian Wall said, man, I thought I just race one. Where did he come from?
Now with possibly the fuel mileage concerns having gone away, Craven can now drive the car aggressively.
And he is.
Back a couple of car lengths from Jerry Marquis. Speaking of driving aggressively, what a great race Ricky Craven had here in the Busch South race last month, where he got a lap down from an oil line that came loose and drove back to the field, made the lap up under green, and came all the way back to finish 9th.
He did have a great run. Let's see if he can close in, try to do something with Jerry Marquis. Pretty good race, all four. Kelly Moore, also back there in 4th spot, has joined this battle.
Marquis, Craven, Wall, and Moore. Top 4 cars on your screen.
You can see how going into that last turn, Craven getting a little bit of a room, and Craven's really fast in this part of the racetrack.
Now here's where Craven made the pass a moment ago for 2nd spot.
He's trying. He's trying. He's looking. Meanwhile, Brian Wall trying to. Ricky Craven into the lead.
Craven makes the pass on the front stretch, but he started the pass down the short chute coming out of the final corner there. He gave the guy just a little bit of room and then made his run where he's fastest on the racetrack. And that's a lot of experience and just a great driver.
Craven now pulling away from Jerry Marquis, looking from the Pennzoil copter cam. The interval already now 4 car lengths up the back straightaway.
Oh, look at Brian Wall try to outbrake. Oh, me, just can he make it? Hey, good brakes on that 77 car. Now, can Brian Wall catch Ricky Craven?
Brian Wall, a 2-time SCCA SSGT champion here in the Northeast. He won 5 in a row at this race course, an SCCA competition. Now we're watching Kelly Moore back in the car number 47. See if he can make a move on Marquis. There's Moore in the tic-tac machine.
This is the spot that Ricky Craven was able to get by. Can Kelly Moore do it? Doesn't appear as though he can. Brian Wall is about 0.8 of a second behind Ricky Craven. We'll check and see. Last time by, Ricky Craven had the fastest lap. It was about a ½ mile per hour faster than Brian Wall.
And once again, the yellow car, number 10, behind the 47. That is Kim Baker, veteran road racer. And Baker last year started 30th in this race and finished 2nd. This year, he also started back in the pack in 32nd. Check that Baker started 5th this year and is currently being shown in 5th position. What about Kelly Moore, Ray Dunlap?
Well, Doc, at the top of the show, I was documenting how that 41st place finish really killed him at Loudon. Now, he had 1-2 races there in that exact same car that they used, but boy, that really hurt him in the points. But the best that he's ever done here at Watkins Glen is 5th, and that was way back in 1994. Kelly Moore told me before the race started, if they can get a top 5 finish here, not only will it be great in the points race, but it'll be great for his confidence.
Boy, indeed, Kelly Moore, the 1995 Busch North Series champion. With the New Holland Chevrolet, Monte Carlo, Ricky Craven is the guy they're chasing. He was our pole sitter.
And Kim Baker goes on the inside of Kelly Moore, takes over the 4th spot. And there comes Ted Christopher, the Wheeling car, back into the fray. 3rd gear through the S's. High gear will run all the way 4th gear to the turn 5.
And here is Dale Shaw. And you heard Bill Weber tell you earlier they were on 7 cylinders, and apparently the engine was going to get worse. Well, it just did. No power. He came in dead stick. The engine was not running as he came coasting down pit road. And as they take a look under the hood, we'll watch this battle here for position. That is 5th, 6th, and 7th. 4th, 5th, and 6th. There is Ted Christopher, last year's winner. He's being shown in the 6th spot.
Now we see he goes in the corner, shifts to 3rd, down shifts to 2nd. You go to 2nd gear on that left-hander?
No, it really depends on the transmission you run. I come in.
Hey, look at here. Ted Christopher go blowing by.
Maybe that's why he went to 2nd gear. He went to passing gear. Right?
Exactly.
Good job.
Boy, Baker just did hang on. He almost pulled a Mike Olson where he got the car out of shape in turn 7. He gathered it back in. But Christopher has taken the spot away back in 5th spot.
See Brad Bennett, the 4 cars moved back up to 7th spot. Then we see Brad Layton. See where the 61.
There's the car number 6 of Martin Truax.
Started back in 29th spot. Running up in 14th spot, so he's picked up 15.
And here is a car in the gravel, buried in the gravel. That is A.J. Frank out of Bluffton, South Carolina, the Coastal Medical Associates Chevrolet. And he's buried up to the front air dam.
And I think the flagman is just waiting for the leader to come by to give the yellow flag to him. So check out the blue car. There we see. He just got in too high. Got in the corner too high, didn't he, Kyle?
Yeah, he just got in a little bit deep and a little bit outside. When he dropped that right rear off in that loose stuff, it just jumped out from under him real quick.
And another spin, this time for the 18 car again. This one more heavy damage on Russ Brown's car. Last time he spun around and kept going. This time he has some contact and some sheet metal, and we will get the caution flag again, being waved by Donnie Horvath, Busch North flagman.
Russ Brown, and you're right, Jerry, there is some pretty significant damage to the back of the car this time. Hollywood Restaurant. That's pretty good ad that way. Well, if you follow, it'd be a pretty good ad if you bowl on in the correct position.
And here goes Dale Shaw behind the wall in the car number 7. Tough day for the Skoll crew at Shaw. Had scampered all the way to the front of the field and then had lost the cylinder and then apparently lost the engine. So they're headed back to the garage area.
Now we see the Hollywood Restaurant laying on pit road there as Russ Brown made it down. We saw that from an onboard camera just a moment ago. Let's watch it as Kim Baker and Ted Christopher battle for this position. We saw him downshift the 2nd gear, as Kyle said, passing gear. Wow, in the grass. Pretty heads-up stuff there, wasn't it, Kyle?
Yeah, it was. He made some incredible time through that corner right there. I need to go back and watch that on the in-car so I can try to figure that one out.
Well, he grabbed 2nd gear and grabbed grass with the right side tires, and he also grabbed a spot away. So Christopher now in 5th position. Well, Ricky Craven is our leader. We're under caution once again with 49 laps complete.
Greatest heroes: Petty, Pearson, Yarborough, Earnhardt, Gordon. This is NASCAR.
Now you can own NASCAR the 50 from ESPN Video. All the history, highlights, and horsepower of America's greatest sport in one incredible home video collection. This special box set features over 5 hours of NASCAR's golden memories and insider interviews available only through this 50th anniversary offer. If you're a real racing fan, NASCAR the 50 is a must for your home video library. Order this deluxe 5-tape collection now and save almost $15. Call 1-800-717-ESPN and order NASCAR the 50 for just 3 easy payments of $19.99. An opportunity this special only comes along once every 50 years. Call 1-800-717-3776 now and own a piece of NASCAR racing history.
Back in Watkins Glen, New York. A lot of exciting highlight action coming your way tonight. RPM tonight, 7 Eastern Time. Winston Cup preview. This wild Bud at the Glen weekend. How about kart qualifying recap? And truck highlights in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. That's at 7 o'clock Eastern Time tonight on RPM tonight. And of course, later today, happy hour, 8 o'clock Eastern Time on the news. Tomorrow, RPM today at 11:30 a.m. NASCAR today at 12:30 Eastern Time. And then Bob Jenkins and Ned Jarrett will join us for our live flag-to-flag coverage, the 13th running of the NASCAR Winston Cup Budweiser at the Glen. 1 Eastern Time on the mothership, ESPN. Great shot of this massive facility, and how about this crowd on hand at Watkins Glen International Raceway in the Finger Lakes region of New York. These shots courtesy of the fine folks at Pennzoil and our Pennzoil copter cam. Well, we showed you Dale Shaw's car being pushed behind the wall. I think our Bill Weber is caught up with him. Bill?
And Dale's out of the race and out of the car. First of all, you did drop a cylinder.
Yeah, we lost a cylinder. You know, the Skull Bandit Racing Pontiac was really hooked up today. I know a lot of people say that, but we really were. And the crew gave me a good pit stop, called a heck of a, you know, called it at the right time and got me good track position. I was looking for a solid top 5 run today, but it wasn't meant to be.
So you jumped in this car Monday. Looks like it could be your ride for the rest of the year, but you got to relearn some of these guys, especially on a road course like this. It was wild at times, huh?
Yeah, it sure was, you know, but hopefully before the end of the year we can get these guys a good run.
All right. Thank you, Dale.
Thank you.
Trying to diagnose the problem there. Underneath the hood of the car number 7 of Dale Shaw. And while we have some time under caution with the cleanup ongoing on the racetrack, we'll take a break and come back with the final 12 laps of the Pepsi 150 NASCAR Busch North Series event from Watkins Glen. Back in just a moment.
Making friends is our business was a motto that my grandfather created back in the 1950s when he came up with the slogan. Beer is about friendship, about relationships. It's about making friends, going out, meeting new people, and there's not a better beverage to do it with than a Budweiser. There are 500 million beer drinkers in the world, 80 million beer drinkers in the United States, and they must know something.
1 can of paint, $26.
Al, check approval, register 5.
1 can of paint, $26.
Al, check approval on 5.
1 lousy can of paint, $26.
Al.
Knowing you'll never have to wait for Al, priceless. Debit MasterCard withdraws right from your checking account without the hassle of checks. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's Debit MasterCard.
Al.
On NASCAR's 50th anniversary, we're celebrating our checkered past. The 76 brand and NASCAR. The winningest team, the longest and strongest team in racing history, has been bottled up into one smooth-running motor oil. 76 NASCAR high-performance motor oil. Celebrate with your car. You've got history on your side.
Screaming, pointing, and praying are all acceptable ways for a NASCAR fan to show their support. Now, there's another. Drink accordingly.
racing, Watkins Glen style, before a tremendous crowd here in the Finger Lakes region of New York. What have they enjoyed? What have you missed? If you just joined us, we're going to show you. Let's start on lap number 6. Exciting action. The 21 car of Eric Bodine spins down in turn 5. A couple guys get by, but Dave Dion loops the 29 car and boom, right into the side. Now Dion's miserable afternoon isn't over. He tries to make it down pit road. Left rear tire goes boom. He spins it around backwards 360 right above his pit. Okay, how about lap number 13? Rookie driver Ben Rowe gets a little wheel hop and heads for the kitty litter, the gravel. Grabs low. All right. How about the car number 42, Tom Carey? He was the point leader, but the white line is underneath the front. He gets held a lap. Now, here's lap number 26. Stefanik and Olsen tag in turn 7. Lap 30. Heavy contact here. Jamie Obey, 3-time champion, into the barrier, spraying radiator water. Rizzo has nowhere to go. That took a while to clean up. Lap number 39, 86 to Moores and 18. Russ Brown, and lap number 41. Last year's Rookie of the Year, Tracy Gordon. Here is John Wall Sr., the car number 1. The 64 car involved, the Butch Cone. And lap 49, A.J. Frank gets a little high in turn 6 and heads for the gravel pit. That's all that's happened so far. As we have 51 laps complete here on the Pepsi 150 62-lap event. Getting set to come to the green. Got to remind you, coming up next, NASCAR's greatest races. That's following the conclusion of this Pepsi 150. You'll hear from Tim Flock, Bill France, Kel Yarborough, Richard Petty, and part of the 50th anniversary celebration, some of the all-time greats in NASCAR racing. That's coming up next after about 11 more laps.
Kyle, I talked to your dad yesterday and said, we were talking about people keep asking us all the time, don't we miss racing and what have you? He said, sometimes you see those guys going by running 2 abreast and where you see the money they make, you say, well, I think I could go back after doing that. And then they bring one on the hook all smashed up and you say, boy, am I in the right place or what?
I think he feels that way a lot, especially when he talks to me on Mondays after I've wrecked 2 or 3 times and I'm not getting up out of bed for a day or 2. But, he misses the part of it. And I know you miss the driving part of it, but he still enjoys the people just like you do, and that's why he's here.
All right, the Ford Taurus safety car. That's Ricky Craven. Let the field pass through the chicane here. There's Craven in the 82 car, Wall of the 77, the 15 of Marquis, Kelly Moore, Ted Christopher, Baker,
Bennett, Tennessee late in 55, 42. Tom Carey's back up to 9th spot already. Now we see John Preston go by Mike Olsen, Eric Bodine in 21. 76 car Tom Bowles goes by. 22 car, that Jeff Barry had that problem on the very first lap, and with the left front brake, he's still on the racetrack. Never see Lou Rettenmeyer in 59. 57 car that just spun.
There was Stefanik, the 51 car, and Dave Dion, once left to the back of that car, he came in here in the top 10 in the point standings. Let's check in the 77 pits with Ray.
Well, Jerry, I think we ought to find out if he's got anything for him. Buddy, can you win this thing? Ricky Craven's pretty strong.
He is strong. If we can keep this thing green to the end, we got something for him.
Well, that's the word from the crew chief of Brian Wall. They think his experience as a driver may just come to play here in the final laps.
That's Buddy DeRocher who calls the shots for Brian Wall. We told you that Brian had won 5 in a row here in SCCA competition. He won 13 of 16 SCCA road racing starts over the 1993 and 94 season.
I saw you just a moment ago, Tom Carey. We saw all the problems that he had. Went back to about 25th in the running. Has worked his way back to 9th spot. Attaboy, Tom.
Look how far back he was. Back in 30th position on lap 25. As we work lap 51, he is currently in 9th spot, and of course, back atop the point standings.
I tell you, that's why teams like that win championships. They never give up. They keep fighting, and he's come back from a lot of adversity.
They scatter inside and outside around Jerry Marquis, who didn't get that good of a jump. Here is Craven leading him down into turn 1.
And Kim Baker trying to dive down. Is he going to try to make it 2 or 3 abreast? No, could not quite make it.
Kelly Moore trying to get on the inside of Marquis. That's the battle for third position. Moore, the 47 car. And Vesper's in the wall.
He said, did you hear something flat or something, Kyle? Is that what he said?
Couldn't hear. I really didn't make out what he said, but he just got bumped and got moved out into the loose stuff, and when you get out in there, you're in the marbles, and it just...
And about it for the lead, and you see Craven gets the stretch, and Brian Wall has the lead. Man, there's too much action to keep track of.
That was a shoving match in the inner loop, and here's Marquis now closing in on Craven, but Brian Wall takes the lead on lap 52 with 10 to go.
It looked like they ran straight over it, and all the excitement that we just saw all happened within about a half a mile on the racetrack. There's a bunch of stuff going on out there right now.
Oh, Brian Wall, we can see he's really trying. He's really running that Ford hard right now, trying to stay in front of Craven as he comes off about half sideways. Oh, there's Brad Bennett trying to get on the inside of Kim Baker, and does he? Yes, he does. So put Bennett up into the 5th spot.
Bennett's had an up and down race. He's been as far up as 2nd or 3rd and been as far back as dead last in line because he had to pit an extra time one time. So he's had a pretty up and down race.
That's right. They didn't get it full of fuel. That one pit stop they made had to start at the rear. So Ricky Craven not let Brian Wall get away.
9 laps to go. Brian Wall, our leader. Here's where they had the lead change last time by, entering the inner loop. And here's Ted Christopher on pit road. Let's go to Bill Weber.
Well, just quickly, the left side's flat. They're going to change the left side tires, try and get him back out, get as many laps as possible as they can, but obviously very disappointing for the defending champion of this race.
Here's what happened to Ted Christopher. He goes down in the corner, and there we see the bump, I guess. No, he just gets... The left front is flat, isn't it, Kyle?
Yes, the left front looks flat right there. When he gets to that point, it looks low, and he's turning the wheel, but it's not going anywhere.
And while that was happening, Kyle, here's the lead change up the backstretch.
Ricky tries to block him and then thinks a little bit better of him, and that's 2 great drivers going in there. Ricky did a great job keeping the thing under control, going out through the grass like that.
So Brian Wall, our leader. Last year, Brian Wall qualified 2nd and finished dead last in 38th spot by losing an engine on lap 2. Hoping to go from last to 1st in a year, as he is our leader with 8 laps to go.
Ricky Craven has reported that he's a little bit loose in the right-handers, and that's pretty bad news because all the corners are right-handers.
You can't, at this point in time in the race, Ricky can't afford to be loose anywhere or tight anywhere. These 2 cars are working, and these 2 cars have picked up the pace. You know, last lap by, they're about 2 miles an hour faster than the 3rd-place car on the racetrack, and they pretty much pulled away from the 3rd-place cars.
Guys, the 77 car out there on the racetrack, you were just referring to his engine problems last year, Jerry? Well, most of the time when there's a car up front in any kind of race and you say, wonder where the power is coming from in that car, well, the 77 has a Roush racing engine, and that's one of the reasons why it's so good.
And there was something uncommon in today's race. We saw John Wall in the 1-car spin earlier, and we said that was he was driving a Chevrolet Monte Carlo. That was a Roush engine. No, he was in Joe Pes's car, a Chevrolet. That's right. Oh, and look at Red Meyer, and never see John Wall Sr. in the 1-car. Heavy crash between these cars.
Car number 3 involved. That's the efforts of Walter Riley, the rookie. John Wall Sr., you mentioned, the car number 1. And the 59, of course, of Lou Rettenmeyer, who was our leader early on, or about halfway through this race.
I hope Riley keeps going because he is pulled to the worst spot he could. There you go.
And here come the leaders.
Back to the inner loop.
These guys are still racing. I'm not sure they got the caution.
I don't believe they got the caution flag yet. There's Wall and Craven. There'll be 7 to go this time by.
Where's the wreck in turn 6?
They're getting ready to come head on up on the wreck right here.
Slow down, guys. Ricky Craven wisely backs off. Good boy. Ricky Craven said cutting out and going up the hill? Well, Brian Wall said, that was Brian Wall's radio, said we're cutting out and going up the hill.
We showed you at the top of the show a significant elevation change on this race course, this 2.45-mile course. They go up and down, not only left and right. You see Lou Rettenmeyer climbing out. There's John Wall Sr. in the car that he entered as my grandkid's Chevrolet, the Tony Vecchio machine.
They asked Rettenmeyer, is he okay? He's nodding his head. He is.
If we can show you what happened upon the latest caution here up in turn 6.
There we see Rettenmeyer on the right side of the screen go down, and he makes contact with Riley, and then they catch. Is that Tom Carey that they got in contact with? There was a white and red car also involved in that accident that they made some contact with. I'm not sure exactly who it was. Oh, we see Brad Layton, some smoke out the exhaust pipe on that car, so looks like his day's about over. Let's see if we can see that replay again, and maybe you guys can help me see what white and red car that is going to make contact. Different angle. There we see the white and red car right in front. Right there, they just touched the...
That might have been the 14 car, Tracy Gordon.
Tracy Gordon, I guess that's who it was, yes. Okay, thank you, Jerry.
3 heavily damaged cars there on the entrance of turn 6. There is John Wall Sr. I asked him, I said, how in the world can you be a Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealer and drive a Chevrolet? He said, well, Doc, the way I'm telling people is I got so many Chevys turned in to buy new Fords. That's what I got these cars to use. I said, that's a pretty good line. All right, coming up next, NASCAR's greatest races. Highlights of some great ones. The 1958 Daytona Beach race, the inaugural Daytona 500 in 1959. How about the Petty Pearson final lap in 1976? Wasn't that a classic? The Cale, Donnie, Bobby situation in 1979 at Daytona. How about Elliott winning the Winston Million at Darlington along with Jeff Gordon last year? And the 1992 race in Atlanta, the finale. Alan Kawicki wins the title. Davey Allison has problems. And it's one lap that Kawicki leads over Bill Elliott. That gives him the championship. All that coming up next. Highlights of NASCAR's greatest races coming up next after about 6 more laps. How about this camera guy here? A little homemade camera there, enjoying some action. Yeah, focus. Yeah, that's why you can't focus. All right, we're right along with the AutoZone car of Martin Truex in 10th spot. Be right back.
1 can of paint, $26.
Al, check approval, register 5.
1 can of paint, $26.
Al, check approval on 5.
1 lousy can of paint, $26.
Al.
Knowing you'll never have to wait for Al, priceless. Debit MasterCard withdraws right from your checking account without the hassle of checks. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's Debit MasterCard.
Al.
Is there anything else, an only real thing to do? Anything else I need, except cold and you. No, there's nothing else that'll do besides Coca-Cola. There's only you. Come on, give me a Coke, baby. Give me some of that real thing. Come on.
When you pull into 76,
Come on, move it, guys!
you've got something in common with the drivers in NASCAR. Because for over 40 years, NASCAR has chosen 76 as their official fuel. And now they're 76 with new Pro Power. It's cleaner burning for more powerful performance on and off the track, no matter what you drive. Get the spirit of NASCAR. Get the spirit of 76.
Back in Watkins Glen International Raceway, Kyle Petty involved with us here. Benny Parsons, Bill Weber, Ray Dunlap, and yours truly, Jerry Punch, bring you exciting Pepsi 150. NASCAR Busch North Series action. And Ray, let's check into the 77 pit. What's going on down there?
Well, Jerry, there's some pretty low faces here right now because Brian Wall keeps reporting that the car is cutting out. And I just asked his dad, John Wall, who just made it down here after getting out of the one car, and he said, we may have a fuel problem here, so we'll have to keep our eye on him after they go back to green, see if he can keep it rolling.
He jumped out of the race car and ran down.
Hi, Buck here. How you doing? I think we're running out of gas. If you run out, Jeff Barry will push you.
So they got it worked out with Jeff Barry in the 22 car to give him a push in case they run out.
That's John Wall Sr., the 54-year-old father. Well, you can see how
Going to lose.
Hand me that water, please.
they said it's yours to lose. He obviously got the fastest car if he got enough gas. Buddy DeRocher, you saw him pacing in the background there.
Right, you got to find out now if you're out of gas or not. It's running at idle, but it just gives a little bog when I gas it.
Kyle, what do you do?
Usually up the hill and then down the straightaway.
You know.
Are you sure you're not hitting the red limiter? I'm at 2,000 RPM. So I'm just coming down the front chute here. You're definitely hitting the rev limiter coming down the end there. I know about that. I know, at this point I'm going to go because it's all right, but just be ready. Hi, how many times did it do it now? Don't worry about it. We're going green. Don't worry about it. We're going to go for it.
So going through the inner loop, they have about another 90 seconds back before the green flag.
Obviously, he's got the horsepower.
If anything happens, just try and line up. Jeff's going to pull up behind you and push you in.
They've got a plan for Jeff Barry in the 22 car to give him a shove. That's a fall.
You might want to try switching your ignition box, Fry. On ignition. Don't worry about it. We're going green. You do the best you can, pal. You're doing a hell of a job. Come on.
Skipping the gas going up to the top.
Brian knows more about what's going on in the car right now than anybody else. They're wanting to tell him it's the ignition or that it's hitting up the rev limiter. And like he said, it's at 2,000 RPM. It's not hitting the rev limiter. He's feeling the thing be out of gas. Right now under caution, a lot of times when the gas sloshes around, it will give him that feel right here. But, you know, they're definitely concerned if they've already got a contingency plan for somebody to push them in. They're a little bit more concerned than just saying, hey, we can't go the distance.
A look of concern for John Wall Sr. There's Buddy DeRocher, the crew chief for Brian Wall, the youngster trying to get his first Busch Grand National North Series win. His best finish this year, a 5th at Dover on the Monster Mile. Do they have enough fuel? They'll get 4 laps to go.
Be ready. You control the start now, pal. Be ready.
Yeah, they control the start, but the overhead bridge is the restart point. He controls the start, but he cannot hit the accelerator before that. We saw that bridge right here. That's the restart point. We saw Ron Hornaday get black flag.
Go. Green.
He's got to start a little bit before the bridge.
A little bit before the bridge.
Well, he took off when he pushed the pedal, so he must have enough fuel. Now, here's the battle for second spot. Craven hanging on. They're battling for third back there. That's Kelly Moore and Jerry Marquis.
And they are dead side by side still, 2-1. And now we see Brad Bennett goes in there and takes over the 4th spot from Marquis. Kim Baker is back in 6th.
Off the back straightaway. Wall, Craven, Moore.
Oh, Kim Baker tried to get on the inside of Marquis and hit that rumble strip and shot up in the air 3 or 4 feet.
Huge hit right there.
And here comes Tom Carey to try to take over the 6th place.
Carries the 42 car. He was a lap down, made up his lap. He was the point leader coming in. They will get 3 to go this time by. Brian Wall, 3 car lengths on Craven in the 82 car.
Craven's got a little damage there on the left rear. Must have happened in that last restart.
And Craven tries to dive on the inside and contact. And around goes Brian Wall. Oh, man. And here comes Kelly Moore to take the lead. Kelly Moore's in front. He just got back in front of Brad Bennett. I guess he was in front of Brad Bennett all the time. But meanwhile, it was Bennett that just passed Marquis. This is the battle for the lead right now.
Kelly Moore, 39 years of age, trying to hold on and get the win on the road course. Brad Bennett, the youngster, 24 years of age, in the car number 4. It'll be 2 to go when they get back this time. Inner loop, Moore, Bennett, Marquis.
Bennett is trying his best to get under Kelly Moore. Can't quite do it. Now he's accelerating off the corner. See Ricky Craven back in 4th place. There are only 3 laps to go, or 2.5 laps to go, but this thing is far from over.
Brad Bennett, the young man who says they...
Watch this. Jerry, watch this down to the inside in contact. I told you this thing wasn't over. Whoa! And there the 2nd and 3rd place cars get crashed, and Tom Carey just missed that.
So 2 laps to go, 2 cars spinning after contact in turn 7.
And Kelly Moore, Ricky Craven has damage to his car.
And Craven cannot get his car to turn. He just barely makes the turn down in turn 1, but he's off in the edge of the gravel. He will lose a spot. Brad Bennett is the leader. Kim Baker in 2nd. Craven will lose 3rd spot. Preston will be in 3rd position.
But if they get the green, if they get the caution this time by, they're going to run 2 more laps, and all these cars that's trying to figure on fuel mileage may run out of fuel. If those other wreck cars get going, if they didn't, there will be a caution flag, I'm sure.
What a wild scramble here at the finish. There is the battle for position. That is for 2nd spot, the 89 car.
I'm not sure I've ever seen 2 or 3 laps like these 2 or 3 laps have been. I've been sitting here speechless.
Coming down for the white flag, 24-year-old Brad Bennett. And apparently they are going to black flag. We're hearing they may wave the black flag.
But if he stops the next time, it's a checkered flag.
Yeah, it makes no difference. He wins the race.
There's a white flag and a black flag.
Final lap as Brad Bennett has gotten the white flag and the black flag on lap 61.
And Kim Baker's about to spin out, running in 2nd place. Meanwhile, back in 3rd place, John Preston. John Preston is the truck driver for the 89 team, the team that Jeff Fuller drives on the NASCAR Busch Series.
The Meredith Bruart Busch Grand National team. He's the truck driver and the gas man on race day, but a former competitor in Busch North competition. Here they come to complete lap 62.
And Brian Wall once again.
And the 22 car of Jeff Berry, they're involved.
Well, that's the guy who's going to push him in.
Maybe he was trying to push him.
Maybe he was trying to push him in.
You know, I don't know what the rules are. At this point in time, I want to either cross the start-finish line on the racetrack as a driver with a 4-car. Since they have black flags, it might be they're going to argue the point after the race or come down pit road at an excessive rate of speed and make them argue for that point, too.
Exactly.
And act like I came in anyhow and just make them talk about it when the race is over with. If he wants to belittle that point, the last lap is scored from the start-finish line all the way across the pit road, all the way across.
But he's going to take the black flag, and they're giving the checkered flag to Kim Baker. They are giving Kim Baker the checkered flag.
So the black flag goes to Brad Bennett, the young man who drove a well of a race, but gets black flag 1 lap to go. And look at these guys.
Whoa!
Now that is talent. This could have been what won the race for him, saving the car on the inner loop. Watch the yellow car, number 10, top of your screen.
This car, watch this, folks, when he hits this curve. Watch it go up in the air. He lost 4 or 5 spots, but he kept the car going in the right direction.
All right, watch turn 1. Here's what happened up front just a few laps ago, 3 laps ago.
Brian Wall, the blue car. Pennzoil car. Goes down. He's going to get touched. Ricky Craven trying to dive to the inside. He's going to get touched right there on the right rear. Around goes Wall. Craven goes out. So Kelly Moore takes the lead. Brad Bennett goes by. And, folks, it ain't over. It's not over. Trust me when I tell you, it's not over. Because here we see Kelly Moore the lead. Brad Bennett trying to get under him. Contact a little bit. Around goes Kelly Moore.
And
bam.
And that collects Jerry Marquis, who was running back in third spot. He's involved. Look at Tom Carey just getting by in the 42.
And then Brad Bennett. There we see Kelly Moore going in around. There we see Marquis come by. See Ricky Craven also involved.
No. There's a lot of stuff. I guess they black flagged the 4 car because of this incident.
Yes.
Then why didn't they black flag Ricky Craven for the other incident?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? I hate to bring that up, but I think it's a little bit of something totally different.
And here is the Kim Baker crew. He takes the checkered flag, and they begin to get a little excited and celebrating. Let's go down to Ray Dunlap. Ray?
Well, guys, I'm with Bob Bennett, and I know you're very, very disappointed. They did not show Brad the checkered flag there. They gave him the black. Were you communicating with him and aware of what was happening?
Yeah, all NASCAR told me was that we were supposed to make a stop. We got 3 laps to do that, as far as I know. And it was only 2 laps to finish the race, so we finished the race. Now I'm going to go up and argue and see what's going on.
Okay, one other thing, an absolutely great car, a problem with the fuel stop. You had a good car. You got to be positive on that side.
Yeah, we had a good car. We had to make 2 stops. The second one to get fuel in the car. Wouldn't take it the first time. The check ball in the vent tube was stuck, so I had to beat it with a hammer to get the fuel in.
What a drive from Brad Bennett. Now to Bill Weber in the McDonald's winner's circle.
And Kim Baker still sits in the car. He's still strapped in here, so we'll lean in here for a second. Welcome to Victory Lane. Were you planning on making this stop, Kim?
Before we came here, we were planning on making the stop, but we had nothing but bad luck until the end of that race. And we made up for all the bad luck we had this weekend in the last 2 laps. It's just incredible. I'm so happy for the Red Line Corvette. I promised them a good finish, and we were able to come through.
Tell me what you saw those last couple of laps in front of you.
Well, I was deliberately staying a little bit behind and hoping, not to wish some bad luck or anything, but hoping something like that would happen where we'd be able to sneak by, because I knew that Ricky was desperate to win the race, and I knew 77 was desperate to win the race, and I knew 4 was desperate to win the race, so I thought something may be happening soon. And I knew I didn't have the power to get by, so I could just run as close as I could.
How about your adventure in the inner loop there in the closing lap?
Well, I'm surprised the car is still in one piece. Now, and that was the end of it. At the last few laps, the steering wheel was 180 degrees in the other direction, and it was really pushing bad. I didn't know if the tie rod would break on the last lap or not, because it was really shaking and everything else.
You have a very enthusiastic crew.
I'm really happy for the crew. This is our first race, and it's our first win. We can't ask for more than that. And I've got to thank Tony Blanchard. He worked day and night on this car. I gave him 2 weeks to get it ready, and he did it.
Well, get yourself unbuckled and get on out here. Congratulations. Kim Baker's going to climb from his car here in Victory Lane, and that's a pretty good percentage. 1 race, 1 win here at the Glen.
How about that? 44-year-old Kim Baker comes from 30th to finish 2nd a year ago. This year he comes from 5th to 1st. 1 start, 1 victory. As Bill said, he's batting 1,000 here at Watkins Glen International Raceway. Back with more post-race in a moment.
Here it comes from Daytona Beach, Talladega, Rockingham, Charlotte, Atlanta. It's the 50th anniversary of NASCAR. And the 76 brand and NASCAR have been bottled up in one smooth-running motor oil. Over 1,000 NASCAR victories. When you win this many races, the rewards gotta be big. Ask for 76 NASCAR high-performance motor oil.
Dude, get down. My chair. Let's go. I'm not playing games.
Okay, here we go again.
Oh, dude.
He's got him right where he wants it. Just a bit outside.
Hey, those dog obedience classes really paid off.
Our ESPN Speed World coverage of exciting Busch Grand National North action. The Pepsi 150 has been brought to you by ESPN Video. Get your officially licensed NASCAR videos from ESPN Video. Take a look at our unofficial results. We are told there are going to be numerous protests. You can check RPM later tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN2 for the official results. They are unofficial, but here's how we have them right now, as 18 cars finished on the lead lap. "39 cars started. What a tough day for Dale Quarterly, who blew an engine on the very first lap. Well, the points as of now, depending upon how the final shakeout at first occurs in the results, Tom Carey hangs on to the point lead. Mike Stefanik stays in second spot. Marquis, Layton, and Kelly Moore in the top 5. Let's check in with Ray, who's standing by with Kelly Moore.
Well, Jerry, he's one of the drivers that has to be very disappointed. You had such a great run today. We talk about how important all these points are. If it would have ended like 1 or 2 laps earlier, you'd have been in a lot better shape.
Yeah, we would have, Ray. We had a good race car. We were kind of trying to put ourselves in a position to win. Right at the end there, the 77 and Ricky, they were really strong. They got together. We took the lead there, and we thought we had things pretty well at hand. I didn't think Brad would get into the back of me like that. I guess I'm gonna have to look at the tape, but I'm just really proud of these guys. From Tic Tac, Tic Tac Jordan Lumber Crew. They've done a great job this weekend, and we'll just have to come back and get them next weekend. With kind of disappointed right now, but we'll get over that in an hour or two.
Well, they had a really great run, guys, and next race they go to Star Speedway, and Kelly's always tough there.
All right, Kelly Moore, the former series champion. What a disappointment as the crews now head back and continue on their way after the 10th of 17 events. Let's check in with Bill.
With Brad Bennett, just your view, Brad, your thoughts.
Well, it's tough because I run Kelly clean all race, and that restart before that, I looked underneath him down the front straightaway, and he did the same thing, pulled down on me, and I was kind enough to lift out. Then I did it on a short shoot, on a chicane, looked underneath him, he come down on me, I lifted out. We get down there, and I was up to his door, and he knew I was there, and he drove it in a little too deep to beat me, cut down on me, and I just had to stay in it, otherwise I would have been collected. So it's a shame, I feel bad for the crew. We've been fighting to get a win, and we were going to do it here, and as far as I'm concerned, we did win.
Will you protest?
Oh, absolutely, because this is not the first time they've made a bad call this year, and we're gonna try to straighten it out, but we'll take whatever it gets. The fans know who won because we were running.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right, you'll be able to check on all the changes and the official results on RPM tonight, coming up at 7 Eastern Time on ESPN2. Not only a Winston Cup preview, but post-mortem on the Pepsi 150, kart qualifying, and, of course, truck highlights. And then, of course, later, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, happy hour tomorrow, RPM today at 11:30 a.m., NASCAR today at 12:30 Eastern Time, and then Bob Jenkins and Ned Jarrett climb on board for live flag-to-flag coverage of the Budweiser at the Glen. Coming up next, NASCAR's greatest races. For Ray Dunlap, Bill Weber, Kyle Petty, Benny Parsons, I'm Jerry Punch, congratulating that man right there, 44-year-old Jim Baker. He is our winner. This has been a special presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.